影长矛手。
请天辉方禁用英雄。请夜眼方禁用英雄。还剩10秒，还剩5秒。
Hello everybody, and welcome back. It's a fantastic night here on the CDPC. My name is R.Cryptic. I'm joined by the lovely Kips, and we've got some fantastic Dota happening here tonight. How you doing? Long time no see, season 2.
Yeah, long time no see. I've missed it. I haven't exactly missed the part where I get up at 6 a.m. But you know what? Sacrifices have to be made, and for some anecdotes, I'll gladly go through those early mornings.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got two great teams. Do you want to introduce them? I think you're pretty familiar with them, right? Or at least one of them.
I'm familiar with LBZS because they came down from the upper division. I casted the Decider tournament where they first fought their way there. I was very impressed by especially Cat Yu and of course Xiaofu. And unfortunately for them, the competition in the upper division was just stiff enough that they've dropped down, and now they are down here.
Yeah. They're going against the first qualifier team, right? This is the team that just made it in. Aster.Aries. I mean, as far as like the roster goes, not entirely unknown. There are a couple people on there that are probably recognizable. But they, I believe, made it through Open Qualifier 1, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That is probably correct. I can quickly check.
Yeah, we can double check. But either way, I mean, they managed to make it through with Demon Slayer, one of the other open qualifier team here, into the lower division DPC, and LBZS, as well as Magma, were the two teams to come down from the upper division. So all the other teams are remaining: CDAC, Phoenix, Extreme, and Dragon. But yeah, this is their first game here, going head-to-head. I love this matchup, right? You have the upper division relegation and then the fresh blood, right? The new team into the DPC can go head-to-head. Is going to be a lot of fun, and we've got the draft underway, as you all can see. And I'm actually very excited to see where this ends up going.
Yeah, I think the other open qualifier team, Demon Slayer, already fell 2-0 to LBZS. I caught some glimpses of that, and it was pretty brutal. So I'm hoping that Aster.Aries here, as the first qualifier from the opens, can do a little bit better here.
Yeah. Now, one thing that we saw towards the end of last season, the Death Prophet start to really show up. We saw it a lot in the major. Now, a hero that I am incredibly surprised actually made it through first phase is the Phantom Lancer. This hero got one of the most absurd shard buffs I think we have ever seen, and the fact that it is not being first banned is pretty wild to me. But there are some other heroes that are also really strong that we see removed here: the Grimstroke, the Timbersaw, the Beastmaster, of course, and the Phoenix. All hero staples in the CNDPC, but also just got a lot of love with the new patch.
Yeah, definitely a lot of love elsewhere as well. Well, apart from the Phoenix, maybe. But Beastmaster is an unstoppable menace at this point.
Yeah.
The purge from the Grimstroke is just too much to deal with right now. I think that would be my vote for the most ridiculous shard upgrade.
I couldn't believe that. How is that a thing?
I don't know, but I've seen an alchemist with that on him single-handedly take on entire teams.
Yeah, strong dispel. That
the heal is actually the more ridiculous part. I thought that the strong dispel would be the real big deal, but the fact that if you have this center of attention in, for example, an alchemist, and you put that on him, there will be 3 heroes hitting him, and he'll just heal for like, well,
almost
300, 500.
Yeah, that's wild.
Every couple of seconds. It's stupid.
But we do see Lion. I think Lion is still one of, I think probably another hero that got a great shard change. They introduced the multi mana drain plus BKB while mana draining, basically taking his old talent, right? The multi-target mana drain, throwing it into a shard. And this is something we saw happen a lot throughout the patch. It's something we saw happen in the introduction of shards in the first place. Was a lot of these like really high-end talents that really supports never got introduced as shards. We can see him actually talking about it on stream right now. But yeah, you get the three target mana drain, and then the fact that you are magic immune. You get the full BKB effect while casting the mana drain. It's a massive buff.
So have you seen anybody dodge spells with it yet? Because that's what I'm waiting for.
I saw someone soak an entire Lich ult with it.
Nice.
Yeah, they
that's how you do.
They threw out Lich ult, and he just like turned around and mana drained to creep camp and just soaked the whole ultimate. It was amazing. That's very cool.
Exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Let's well, I'm crossing my fingers to see that this game, just because I knew that was gonna happen, but I really want to see it live, you know?
Yeah. There's got to be some fun plays with it that we'll see. Magnus, also a hero that got a little bit of love for himself as far as a core Magnus goes. I think one of the things they've been trying to do is nerf just the 5-position empower bot, and they keep doing it, right? They keep buffing the core Magnus and nerfing the support Magnus builds. So we'll see how it does. Our RP still a great ability. I don't know how I feel about Horn Toss still. It seems a little underwhelming.
Yeah, I think I saw Seb actually get the shard and then never use it.
Yeah, it feels a little underwhelming. I love all the changes though. I've been really enjoying the patch. I mean, there's so much cool stuff that anytime we see like a major patch like this happen, we had an update come out today, this morning. It was a slight nerf to Dawnbreaker, so nothing for us, in the DPC, but Dawnbreaker got a slight nerf to the laning phase. But yeah, I'm really excited for both of the drafts so far. I do like them. I'm a little bit worried about the Magnus and what they're going to pair this with, so they get rid of Bloodseeker and Juggernaut.
Juggernaut has really been a staple recently, hasn't he?
He really has, yeah. The most stable carry. People are saying Void Spirit's the Juggernaut of mid lane, right? Like he just became like this, pick him in any game, it's probably okay type of thing, or he's good in like 90% of games. Yeah. What do you pick to counter the PL?
Ranged offlaners. I mean, Magnus is your counter to PL, and you just grab basically anything else that you want with it. My personal fave is probably the Troll Warlord in this situation.
Oh, I like that. And it's not banned. Yeah, Troll seems like a pretty solid pick for Ares.
Yep. The only possible problem with any of this really is, and I really like this Pangolier pick, is that if you can get to Pango, keep him out of the RP, you'll always have a counter initiation. You'll always have a disarm ready for whenever that carry starts chopping away at whoever you've got bunched up in the middle.
That's true. I mean, sometimes
of course,
you can
it's
get
not
unlucky.
exactly a reliable disarm.
Yeah.
But you can't draft for that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they do need. Okay, I was like, they either need a mid lane or an off lane, right? Because the Pango can flex to either position. So I'm gonna take Queen of Pain as the last pick here for the mid lane, and Ares, they need their safe lane. They have to. It has to be off lane mag, mid Death Prophet, or I mean, you could vice versa it, but I imagine that's the route they're gonna go here.
Mid mag's gonna survive QoP. Death Prophet does a little bit better, at least on the early levels, but later on you just start struggling a bit nonetheless. It's a QoP. What can you do?
Yeah, you just max Crypt Swarm and push the lane and hope that you never have to fight her.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think you're right about the troll though. I think this is such a great troll game. Based on this, the disarm is difficult, but there's not a lot of options that are left that really benefits from the Magnus and power. I mean, there's Phantom Assassin, but I feel like this hero has kind of fallen out of favor. Bless you.
Thank you. I muted for that, didn't I?
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, we've got, let's see. They got about 19 seconds left. They're running low on time, but they've got to be floating probably a couple heroes here.
Yeah, when you're this long into it, like you have a full minute left, you usually already have an idea of what you want to pick, but you're just considering other options because you sort of like you need to consider them.
So it is the PA. So this is, like I said, it is the classic Magnus pickup. I feel like we're looking at a couple patches back. You know, Mag PA was just in every game, but this is the difference is it's core Mag, right? It has to be core Magnus because the support version of this hero got nerfed pretty hard.
Yep. You need those levels in order to actually get the Empower up. Your utility otherwise is pretty limited. And like with every mag draft, really, it's all about can LBZS slow down the mag itself so that he's going to have to spend his Empower on himself. He's going to have to retreat into the jungle and take those camps for himself instead of being able to play up for a carry that he empowers. And we're going to see, like, I think it's probably the better idea to put it on the side lane if you wanted to guarantee get his levels up.
Yeah.
But Aster.Aries might think differently about that.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll find out once we get into the game.
Yeah. They're teasing us a little bit here. I mean, I could go cheap. I actually have the...
you could give us some insider info. Yeah. I'm excited to see how they end up doing this. I do like LBZS's draft a little bit more just because of the Phantom Lancer. Honestly, I'm a little biased towards that hero right now in this patch. And PA, despite having, you know, Battle Fury and the power that we're going to eventually see, it's one of those things where he just throws a Phantom Lance and a support dies. It's pretty much that easy. So we'll see what if they can find an answer for the PL, if they can slow his lane stage down enough. Yeah, and it doesn't look like that's been very successful. I think a lot of times the PL ends up just winning.
Yeah, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. The PA can definitely man-fight him, especially by using her own shard as well. It becomes pretty easy to find a real PL if you have that much cleave and that much AoE damage. But the problem is really not in the man-fighting here whatsoever.
Yeah.
PL is going to kill her team.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. PL get a hard harass like third item and just like start throwing glances at everyone. And then they all die.
The lion might live if he gets his shard inside.
True. Yeah. I don't know if it. I mean, you'd have to start managing before the shard before the lance gets thrown, right? I think. But yeah, it'd be interesting.
And then you can't clear the illusions with it anymore. So it's an interesting choice.
All right, we're jumping into the game here. It looks like it is... Well, we'll see in a moment, but it looks like it is just going to be standard lane setup here from both teams. So we've got PL in the safe lane. I love the upgraded Arcana, though, for the Queen of Pain. That is not easy to do. All right.
That definitely requires quite a bit of spam.
It is 3 Magnus from what it seems, so we do have Yuna playing the 4 position on Lion there. So it would have been interesting. Like you could have seen like Tusk in the 3, but Tusk's gonna be going safe lane there to help out the Phantom Assassin, and nothing out of the ordinary it seems. So we'll see how the lanes actually go. Like I said, I don't think the lane is that bad for Phantom Lancer in the first place. The mid lane, not great for Phoenix here on the Death Prophet, but eventually you just get like 2-3 points of Crypt Swarm and you just de-push, right? So you don't have to actually fight this hero.
Exactly. You don't want to have to fight her, so better just not do it at all. Swap going with the Scream on level 1. Most cops nowadays I've seen do this to secure the range creep with, as opposed to starting the harassment immediately.
Yeah.
You have a tendency to miss out on that one.
Exactly. I've noticed that as well. Scream level 1, if you don't go Scream 1, you have to get it 2. And then you're put in a scenario, especially now that you have water runes in the game. It's like if you don't get your level 3 before the water rune comes, you can't actually secure it with Blink. So that's exactly what she's going to do. Pick up the Blink here, level 2. And at this rate, Queen should be able to secure that water rune that's going to be spawning.
I could see there that she just fights through the level 1 drain as well.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make much sense to try and run away with it. That's when the Death Prophet gets the most out of it.
Yeah.
Trade with her. Swap that regen.
CS-wise, though, it's pretty even in the mid lane. Right now, and really only the Pangolier is kind of struggling in the off lane. But overall, fairly even across the three. Not a lot of fighting. Some nice harassment coming in from the Tusk, but Swashbuckle there, of course, just gets the Pangolier out of there. No problem at all.
Side pull. It's strange, isn't it? Like, I consider this Radiant side pull while we see
yeah, well, we see First Blood go out there.
Tusk, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. This Radiant side pull feels very unfair to me, very balanced towards the enemy off lane, and then every time you look at the diary, you realize that, oh, it's always been like that on the other lane.
Yeah, exactly. That was the one thing I noticed about the changes to the map is it's just like the Radiant safe lane jungle right there next to the tower. Oh, we'll come back to that in a moment. Top lane, Earth Spirit falls to a Swashbuckle. A nice kill there for them, and even Phantom Assassin's gonna have to blink strike on out. I mean, Earth Spirit does so much damage if you don't respect it early. It's a pretty easy play for him to get a kill.
Yep. And it's just Earth Spirit alone with his right clicks contributes a lot to that. Like, the early level spells aren't even that big, but it's the fact that you have multiple of them as well as that just the right clicks come through.
Bottom lane, they get the Abaddon as well. This is the strength of Lion, honestly. Earth Spike is a very powerful spell in the lane stage because not only do you get the damage from it, but you always get, you know, a couple auto attacks thrown in, and with the help of Magnus, it's a lot of damage. So Queen of Pain doing a build I was not actually anticipating. 0-2-2. Just skipping the dagger altogether, opting to just farm the mid lane and the camp next to the mid lane, right? That medium or small camp.
Grab ruins as well. I mean, it's kind of a logical conclusion of where we're going, but I do think that it gives the Death Prophet definitely more of a shot now that she doesn't have to spam her regen all that much anymore.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually. Top lane, another tag team comes out, but Irving always going to be able to use that Swashbuckle. Now, as far as the game tempo goes, who like really favors from an even lane stage?
Honestly, neither of these teams are going to be pushing towers anytime soon, but LBZS is definitely going to dive them. It's a little bit harder for Aster.Aries.
Oh, yeah, another beautiful Swashbuckle there. This top lane, I mean, they're doing fantastic. They're trying to get aggressive with this tag team, but Pango and Earth Spirit just turn around and will fight you. It's bizarre. Like, it's one of those lanes where you don't really anticipate, and they even jump in for more PA, able to barely survive thanks to, I think, a Fairy Fire and a stick. Gets salved up there from the Tusk, but again, forcing more regen in the top lane.
And yeah, Tusk definitely more suited to aggressive lanes, whereas a PA just really isn't. You'd ideally want to tri lane if you want to kill with her.
Right now, though, Magnus is doing incredible with CS. He has 28. He's second on the CS chart, 2 denies. But he just has a ton of base damage, plus the he went in for an early bracer, mad boots, and of course just maxing out that empower. So for him, it's pretty easy to just CS. The question is, like you said, can they, you know, is there a way of slowing down this hero in the mid game, or is he just gonna like pop off, get, I guess it kind of depends on which build he goes, whether he goes Blink Dagger or Echo Saber.
Yeah, I personally like the Echo Saber way more. I think Blink Dagger is very sacrificial. You have a Tusk, you have a Death Prophet, you have ways of making things happen on the map without necessarily needing that jump from the Magnus. And besides, he's having such a good laning stage that he can definitely afford a little bit of luxury here. But look at what he's queued up. It's actually the mech.
Yeah. I was gonna say, he's got the mechanism queued up, and he's actually maxing the Shockwave for now, which Shockwave is quite a good spell at clearing these PL illusions and also for farming, so it does kind of make sense. First power rune of the game here coming up at 6 minutes. We have Earth Spirit rotating top, the Abaddon bottom, securing the haste, and there's your blink. Ends up making it really nice, and they're going to chase down Young on the Lion. Sonic Wave, I don't know if it's available, and she will go ahead and throw it, but it doesn't connect onto the Lion, and now she's put herself in a really bad situation. The blink just committed. She takes down the Lion, but dies. to that exorcism.
Oh, that's awkward with a haste rune on as well.
Yeah, it looked like I was expecting the Sonic Wave like almost immediately, and they were just kind of, I guess, indecisive on if they wanted to take that fight or not. But ends up missing the Sonic Wave and putting her in a bad position as a result.
I think they kind of didn't expect the Tusk to be there as well, so 3 versus 2 is already awkward. And then you add in the fact that she is doing the calculations right there. She realizes that she probably can't kill the lion. It's like, I don't want to throw it, but gets forced anyway. Otherwise, she gets nothing out of that engagement at all.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, that's...
Getting nothing might have been better.
Exactly.
She is level 7,
I
though.
was trying to say. Yeah. It's not too bad. And with Quap these days, after the Orchid buffs a while ago, where the cost was so drastically reduced, you can actually die once or twice on a Quap now without it immediately ruining your entire game, as we see with the Tusk.
Oh, so close. Rolling Thunder just did not come out in time. Yeah, I mean, every time they try to make a play onto this Pangolier, it's Cat U's just nearby waiting, and they even had the rotation in from the Abaddon. Just throw that Aphotic Shield out, but yeah, every single fight is, so far, it seems to be going the way of LBZS, minus obviously the river one, but they're playing that top lane incredibly well.
Yep, and the PA already has to vacate the premises. Of course, the PL is now also farmed enough to just go into the jungle, get his farm there. He's going to get more out of that than the lane, especially because there's still a Magnus here. And yeah, he's fully committed to that mech now, so the mana cost reduction was a really big buff, just straight up halving it from 200 to 100. Actually put it in the range of a lot of offlaners again. But I'm surprised to see it valued this highly.
Yeah, remember that was what made it an unpickable item for a lot of offlaners, right? Was the 200 mana cost. You're just like, all right, well, that's like a third of my mana pool, you know? But it's going to be coming back, I suppose, in the offlane when it only costs 100 mana.
Yeah, exactly. And it's much like if you compare it to Pipe now, the amount of effective HP that you can get out of it versus like the amount of damage that is dealt to you. Mech is of course absolute life recovery. The cost effectiveness of like using the item in a fight is way better on a mech right now. Sure, you can take the damage and then you can use it back. Just prevent it if it's this cheap.
Well, Tusk trying to die to the neutrals here, but he's just going to set up for a Scream of Pain instead, and they'll go ahead and pick up another kill here in the jungle. He does drop a ward, actually, as he dies. But they're just going to clear up these stacks.
Idiot, that's what he came for.
Yeah, you got to be pretty happy about this. They managed to take the top tier 1 tower. Bottom, I believe, is already gone as well for the Radiant, but Exorcism hasn't really claimed a whole lot other than the Queen of Pain's life, but they have been able to push this mid tower. They haven't really chipped it much either. Bottom lane, Earth Spirit might be in some trouble here. A nice Hex from the Fog, and Snowball to follow. That should be an easy pick off here. Shards comes out, Rolling Boulder, not going to connect as it goes the way of the Lion.
Very nice. They did show 4 people for this though, so if you're Cat U, you're not very upset about this.
Ooh,
you know
this
that every
DP.
other lane is safe until now.
Yeah, as you said, they showed 4, and they were right to just jump immediately on that Death Prophet. Sonic Wave committed. They will be able to do a lot of damage over here to the Abaddon, but the double disarm and a huge Sonic Wave. He gets level 6 off the creep wave, and Zhao Fu's gonna survive. That was so close. I think right now they at least are pretty happy about defending that mid tier 1 tower, but it is still a lot of space for the PL as he is pulling away on the net worth chart. Queen of Pain doing fantastic as well. These 4 points in Scream of Pain has netted her a ton of farm, as opposed to just maxing out the dagger, and Exorcism will finally be used to try and chip down this mid lane tier 1 tower. They are here. No Rolling Thunder for about 15, but Magnetize is online.
Hard to fight into this Exorcism, especially because there's also an RP waiting right now, so engaging into this situation is a whole lot harder. But yeah, looks like they're not going to try with that Magnetize. I think they've dealt enough damage here already. I'm not sure LBZS can do anything to save these last couple HP points.
Yeah, they dropped the Magnetize and Rolling Thunder comes in. They might be able to do some serious damage here. Snowball ends up not doing anything. The RP unable to finish. They're jumping onto the backside. Skewer does pull them in. They take down the Earth Spirit, but it is going to be costly as you lose that Magnus as well as the Tusk. It'll just disengage on the other two heroes, but I think at the end of the day, it's still, if you're LBZS, you're okay with getting the trade, but you still lose the tower, right?
Yep. So you gotta push on to actually take the enemies, ideally right now, while their spells are on cooldown, their mag's gone, etc. But you don't have that much tower push, so you gotta commit pretty hard. This is where you're extremely happy to have an Abaddon to be topped up.
I'm curious how close this PL is to his next item. Looks like he's got the Yasha, just going for an early Sanjin Yasha, as opposed to the Manta style, which I actually like the status resistance this game a little bit more. Not having a Manta versus a DP Silence is pretty rough, though.
Yeah, that's the most worrying part for me as well. You really like the status resistance, but PL survivability is so much about the doppelganger in these mid-game team fights. I'm not sure if I really like that. Maybe he's just got it together right now.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the idea is, eventually just a BKB, or if he just knows I'll eventually get Heart of Tarask, and then I won't have any worries.
I mean, that's the name of the game, isn't it? You just get to Heart with the PL. And then after that, the amount of... Well, the thing is that I like Aster.Aries' draft into that. Like, they're clearly saying, alright, even if you get a Heart, there is a possibility that we crit you down. You just gotta either be ahead enough with the PA or lucky enough on the crits. She ain't ahead, so she's going to have to get a little lucky this game, not gonna lie.
Nice snowball.
Smooth as butter.
And we'll see if they can shut down this Pango anytime soon. The smoke up out of the bottom lane, actually. I mean, a successful rotation here into the jungle would be nice, but they're actually just going to barely miss Ares. They do drop a ward up on the high ground. It is going to be scouted by that ward sentry combo, so they know that they are smoked up there on the high ground. Now the pings are coming out. They're just kind of waiting down there. Rolling Thunder. He's chasing down the Lion. A couple auto attacks, but a Yules comes out. This is a little bit greedy. Doesn't have mana for Swashbuckle either. This Pango, you got no way out.
Yeah, and he really put himself in that situation too. You know exactly what your mana situation is. You know that you're not going to be able to get him. You should get out while you're still rolling. Just give up on it. Take the L.
Yeah, drop that TP while Rolling Thunder.
I mean, did he even have mana for the TP?
I think he had mana for TP. It was close.
It was very close. This is where I'd like to really go into the game and check, but unfortunately, if I do that, I'm spoiling myself because the game is 5 minutes ahead. I could look extremely prescient right now, but... Tower finished off. That feels good. Equalize without having to dedicate too much resources.
Dagger out onto the Tuskar, but I doubt he really has any way to escape here.
Yeah, shards for vision, looking for a roll maybe.
Yeah, that's what I imagine it was. So PLApti opted to go back for the Diffusal instead of finishing up the SNY, which I do really like because, like I said, we were both talking about how you kind of do need a silence or a Manta or some way of removing silence. Bottom lane, Pango's ankles are broken.
Oh yes. It's absolutely running circles around him.
It does at least force the TP, but
she was pretty far up that lane as well. Like, I imagine that's where you'd normally TP out and go farm elsewhere anyway.
Yeah.
So, no big loss for the PA, absolutely. And now no Rolling Thunder for the next team fight. Not sure if Ares are actually going to take the defensive fight here, though.
I think your PA just got Battle Fury. Most likely she wants to just go try and farm, but it looks like they are gearing up to take a fight. They are seeing PL in the top lane. Fortification comes out. The Magnus obviously has the mechanism, but no blink dagger, since this is the need to go for more of this team fight oriented build. Blink reveal here from the Lion. Nice stun immediately, but the BKB comes out. Queen of Pain. All right, they'll get the 9-second BKB right out of the gate. An immediate smoke.
Fast smoke pushed them off the tower. This is where you can get some real damage in while you know exactly where they are. LBZS is most likely to split up right now, looking for farm after aborting the bottom push. Unfortunately, what they're going to find is an Abaddon, which is probably the thing you want to fight the least.
Yeah, absolutely. They drop the Exorcism on the backside. Sonic Wave comes through. They take down the Earth Spirit. A nice find, but Rolling Thunder comes on through. They'll finish off one. Xiaofu finally goes down after the borrowed time. Ends up being a 2-for-1. Not a bad trade here for Aries.
Absolutely not, and I'm honestly surprised to see Katyu coming in there. Looking at the minimap position, his team wasn't actually ready to come in there at all. And yeah, sure, the Abaddon's gonna live for a while, but you're putting yourself in the middle of a team that has all of their spells up, and you're not really in position yourself. I don't know.
Nope, a little bit of a pause there. Oh, looks like we're getting a little bit of lag from both teams, but I'm sure we'll be back in just a moment. So PA opting to go Battle Fury straight into the BKB. So she wants to fight, right? Based on that build, the Battle Fury, she'll have the Empower from Magnus. They're really just going to rely on this PA jumping in and trying to clear these illusions, but PL is just so farmed, kits.
He has not been bothered at all. This is versus a mag draft with a mag who also did not go either a farming or an initiating build, and they didn't really team fight with it. Like, this is one of the reasons why I was so questioning about the mech in the first place, because if you want to make that item worth it, you gotta be restoring a lot of health. You gotta be taking a lot of fights. And as it turns out, if you've just got a Lion and a Tusk to take those fights with, then yeah, you're not very likely to find a lot of good engagements. The Blink Dagger is going to help, but a big part of like the Magnus's power window is already gone, and he's going to have to catch up at some point again and leave the fighting to the PA at that point. And that's Battle Fury BKB. The problem is always your damage, and I'm not sure that the Empower is going to make up for that.
Yeah. We'll see how it ends up going. We've got the Yule's pick up on the Pango. A lot of times I see just the first item blink, but the Yule's Scepter blink ends up being, you know, the core build for this hero. Grab Shard as well. Those items tend to be just, you know, the absolute necessity. They find an Arcane Rune there. They're gonna go ahead and bottle that up. Or no, they bottled a DD and it spawned an Arcane. Wow, okay.
Nice.
That's yeah, what more can you ask for?
Especially for a Queen of Pain, you don't want to regen, you want a DD. You're going to be clicking. That's excellent.
Yeah. That's like the dream for sure as far as runes go. So she's got the DD active, still holding on to the Arcane. But they do not have vision inside that triangle, and it is so difficult to go in there. Aries has that beautiful they have 3 wards actually planted around this triangle area, so they can make sure, you know, they see anyone going in or out.
Completely closed off. But yeah, it makes clear how many of their eggs are just in this PA basket right now. Like, we know it, they know it, they're banking on the PA right now, and they're looking for the crits.
Yeah.
And that's either concerning or possibly spectacular, depending on what's going to happen next.
So it looks like he did go back for the Sanjin Yasha as opposed to the Manta style on Phantom Lancer. After that, I have to imagine he's just going to save for the Shard at 20. But maybe he'll opt for a different item or saving for another item.
Yeah. And I can see this deviation from the standard build. If you're just really not looking to fight before you have your heart, if you're like committed to I'm not fighting before the heart, then you know what, SNY status resist on top of that heart is going to do more for you in the long run than the Manta style's ability to purge silences. Like, you're just going to tank everything. That's what you're going to do with a heart anyway.
Yeah, it's a really good point.
I imagine that that's his goal, and it's remarkable that LBZS has the confidence to say, all right, you know what, this game is good enough, we're just gonna do that versus a mag PA.
I mean, gold net worth, it's not too far in the advantage of LBZS. I mean, they have a 2K net worth now, 3K, and a 4,000 experience lead. The majority of this obviously just being, you know, those 2 cores. Nice Hex comes out. They do have an abaddon, but he gets silenced. He can't actually save the Pango. A beautiful play there by Phoenix on that Death Prophet, and now the Spirit Summon comes out. He pops that borrowed time. In comes the Magnetized Silence onto the Tusk as well, but finally Phantom Lancer, he's in the fight backside. A huge Sonic Wave takes down the Lion, but it costs you your own life. A huge RP from 2. Where's the follow-up damage? They got him. PL falling super low, but the Rolling Thunder, they're just dancing around. They've got to try and keep him alive. He's doing a lot. He will get the extra kill there onto the Tusk. Moving his attention on over to the Magnus. A nice disarm onto the PA. She can't fight him. PL sending the illusions down to the low ground. Can they actually finish off the kill? The illusions are so dang strong, and Irving will now throw a Yules onto that PA. Try and make some space. They turn around the fight.
Oof. Well, PL says he's online. I believe him. You can see the possibilities of the PA there if she wasn't this far behind. Maybe if you have a Deso here, but the problem will always be that you're just not in time to actually have 3 items up versus this PL who really only needs 2. And of course, both of them are kind of at a later point in the game than that, but neither of them have that 3rd item finished up anyway. And you can see the difference in strength here. And this is one of the things that bothers me most about the PA, is that every single carry nowadays just needs 2 items, and she needs 3. Without the Deso, those crits don't really...
They don't hit nearly as hard.
Yeah. I was looking for a fancier word, but it's early in the morning, and honestly, she's not inspiring me to any lyricism right now.
Yeah, the Pango bought back at in that fight, right? He got picked off right away, bought back and reinitiated with the PL there. She does have the BKB completed, but you're right. I mean, there just wasn't enough damage coming from the PA. She got disarmed, and at that point, she just kind of has to walk away, but they get the Hex. A nice initiation. Is Finger of Death available? Not quite yet, but the PL, can he get saved? Doppelganger out. Nice silence onto 1. They do find the real PL on the bottom. They're clicking the wrong one. PL, he's down below. They finally figure it out. Sonic Wave comes through. Nice skewer to dodge out the rest of the damage. He blinks after him. Will finish off the kill, but PA finally pops that BKB, and now BKB comes out from Queen of Pain. She's not going to be able to survive this. Rolling Thunder, a zoning tool in this fight, as they will just disengage. A 2 for 2, massively favoring the side of Aries here.
This is huge for them. The fact that this is under the Shrine or the TP state just a tad bit longer, and it's even been buffed. TPs into the Shrine have been buffed. The fact that they just find him alone, that they get this time to wail on him for 5 seconds straight before anybody else comes in, is huge. And there's no way they bring down that PL in a full fight, as we've seen before. But this is big. And now this PA is actually overtaking him in farm. She's going to be able to get a Desolator up pretty fast if she wants to. Although I saw that she has a Satanic Cute instead.
She has the Satanic Cute, but she also picked up the Shard. So the Shard applies AoE break, which... I mean, as long as it's an AoE break, it should break Juxtapose from the PL, so you actually won't be able to create illusions for a few seconds. So that's actually a pretty cool counter. It's one of those shards that when it first came into the scene, I was like, how is this not picked up on every PA? Like, it's just so good. And then they buffed it again.
Yeah, very surprised as well. And isn't it 11% health damage as well?
It was, I want to say it got buffed in this most recent patch. I think it's more than that now. But yeah, I'll have to check. I want to say it was something along those lines. But yeah.
I think it is. So really enjoying that pickup on her.
The mid lane here. They are just going to go ahead and find the Abaddon. Not much you can do there. It is, I guess you could say the quote-unquote space maid, right? But
yeah,
they smoke up immediately. Go into Roche.
LBZS do not look to be in a position to contest this whatsoever. Their mid lane is pushed in too far.
Well, they just smoked.
Don't have their Abaddon right now.
I mean, it looks like they want to try and contest this. The Death Prophet does have BKB now. She even has a bottle haste rune, so this is not an easy fight for them by any means. They're just gonna roll in. They find her, they kick her back up onto the high ground. Sonic Wave comes out. The DP protected by the heals for the time being, but on the backside, you lose the Earth Spirit. Phoenix is just stuck. He can't move. They're trapped by the illusions. They lose Mag as well. Backside, Irving looking for the Lion, protected by the Glimmer Cape. A nice heals, but a two-man stun comes in, giving him some space. Jumps up onto the high ground, and it looks like they're just gonna go ahead and settle for the Tusk as he is on the wrong side of the map right now.
Awkward engage there. You could see that Aster.Aries were really looking for that fight, peeking the Death Prophet up to the high ground. But in the end, yeah, as you said, the illusions just get them stuck. I don't know what you do against that with the draft that you have. You don't have massive immediate damage out of anyone except for your PA, and she has to be focusing down individual targets if you can't get that RNG.
All right, now that you have the Aegis on your Phantom Lancer, it's going to get more difficult. His Heart of Tarask, I believe, is completed now.
Yes,
And
it is.
yeah, we'll be looking at I mean, what do you go your next item? There's not many True Strike options left in the game. Do you need to be the answer for the Phantom Assassin, or do you just focus on killing everyone else?
I think that at this point he could definitely fit an MKB in his build if he wants to. And it would provide a lot of extra threat towards that PA. But at the same time, yeah, you have so much staying power already if you count on the fact that some of your teammates are going to survive while you kill the rest of the team. Then you can safely go for example, Satanic, get that soft dispel while we see a roll not really going anywhere. Well, their spirit roll went somewhere.
Yeah, they I was gonna say they took a little bit of an engagement there, and yeah, that was a little bit of an awkward one. They, I don't know, maybe thought they wanted to counter initiate. Oh, BKB comes out immediately from the Queen of Pain, and Walrus Punch gonna throw her into the air. Drops the Sonic Wave, doesn't actually hit anything, and needs to just disengage now and find her way home. But there's the Lion, anticipated this perfectly. Nice Magnetize and the silence that comes out, but you got no HP, sir. You're just gonna feed a second kill on over to the side of Aries.
Yeah? Once again, just like earlier on, Katyu a little bit overzealous on trying to save his teammates.
Abaddon here as well, and just gonna walk into the same heroes that his allies just died to. A great shard block there. Yules comes out to try and prevent any additional healing. There's your silence and a couple auto attacks. Goes the way of Death Prophet once again.
And this is something that Aster.Aries can definitely do with the Greaves on that Magnus. They can just keep going. If you give them pickles one by one, there is no way you're going to chew through any of their heroes, because you'll chip a bit, they'll get right back up again.
Yeah, absolutely. PA has it. Satanic makes it so easier for her to just heal up at any time. And Death Prophet as well, just Spirit Siphon as much as well as, you know, like you said, the Guardian Greaves for the whole entire team. They'll take their tier 2 tower, or tier 2 outpost. Now MS on this Phantom Lancer again. He's just struggling to keep up with the PA now. I mean, the advantage that you get from this Empower seems to really be making a difference.
It's finally starting to stack up. Since I wasn't in game, I couldn't exactly check how the Magnus was leveling, but I suppose that he definitely finished leveling up.
Oh, he whiffs the Magnetize. A nice dodge. A big team fight initiation starts off here, and they actually just blow apart the Abaddon. The break preventing him from getting that borrowed time off, and now Queen of Pain with a barely escaping there off that blink. MS on the PL, kind of wondering, should I even go in and help out my brother? That's a DDPA, sir. They're going to take down 3 for 2.
Several unfortunate things happening in a row there for LBZS. The fact that the Earth Spirit doesn't get the Magnetize off is absolutely huge. It really prevents them from fighting after, but you've already committed the Rolling Thunder. Like, alright, fine, this is a pretty okay corner for our Pangolier. Maybe he does some of the traditional trademark Pangolier bullshit, but Aster.Aries' positioning is pretty good, and this swap is just having so much trouble surviving. Her BKB is all the way down already because she picked it up so early.
She just blinked onto a Tusk. I was like, he is alone though. So That was interesting. He just immediately TPs. Lion coming in. I mean, he cancels that, right? Okay, or not. He's just here to show some love. Dust comes out. A nice initiation. Once again, immediate crit into the Finger of Death. Takes down the Queen of Pain. PL looking to take down Lion. Will find him. And now, PA, you don't have a BKB for a few seconds. Stuck down here. Magnus trying to give him a place to blink to. He will make it out. A nice jump in. The Satanic comes out. Silence is stacked onto both of them. Again, he doesn't have the Magnetize. It was already committed. Great Walrus Punch that comes in. They will take down that Earth Spirit, but the PL, he's all by himself here. He's got to do all of the heavy lifting. The Abaddon, yes, you can throw out these Aphotic Shields, these Mist Coils, but it's not going to be enough all by himself, and he just gets shard trapped on the high ground. Skewer trying to put him up on the cliff, but the crit again, no borrowed time.
This is starting to get awkward for LBZS. They hit all of their timings and then started losing heroes around the map, almost like they let go of the tension that they'd built up in themselves. And they've just really given Ulu a chance to completely run away with this game in a matter that I thought he should have gotten online earlier. Well, no matter. He is online now.
Yeah, definitely. One thing to note, the PL opted not to go for the Aghanim Shard this game. You know, we're 30 minutes in. He's got like the Heart of Taras, the Diffusal SNY, but no Ag Shard, which I have to imagine has cost them quite a bit in some of these fights, as far as like being able to do some damage and zone out some of these supports.
Yeah, like that was part of the deal, right? Both of us sort of agreed, like, all right, he's going to go for the Shard, the PA is going to kill his supports, he's going to kill the PA supports.
Yeah, exactly.
And now it's mostly just the PA killing his supports.
Yeah, that's exactly where we've made it to. Tusk here on the high ground, gonna get initiated on Great Silence. Dust is not gonna allow him to just escape with that Glimmer Cape, and they'll take themselves a nice quick pick off.
Finally, LBZS getting on the board first. Let's see if they can get anything done with this. The problem is that they normally, if you get a pick off like this, you move into Roshan. But I believe that the Aegis was still in their hands for most of what's been going on.
Yeah, it has. Nice blink in from Irving. The Shard to reposition. The Hex on the backside finds the Lion. The Earth Spirit, he almost goes, survives for the time being, but will end up dying there. A lot of work being done by the Pango. What a beautiful Yules and a double stun onto that Death Prophet. Ends up finding 2 big kills. An incredible play by the Pango there.
Really well done. Repositioning so that he bumps the Magnus into the tower, then realizing that his team can finish him off and immediately move on to controlling the backline. Very, very well controlled there. That's more what I want to see out of my Pango.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen some very interesting Rolling Thunders this game, but that one I feel like made up for all of them. Yeah, I mean, I want to see this again, right? Like the immediate blink, the reposition, and then he just targets the whole backside, right?
Yep.
The chain stuns onto the DP. Yeah, this was beautiful. He actually triples. No, yeah, double stunned into Swashbuckle. Yeah, that was so nice.
Absolutely excellent. And with the way that he was positioned there, also no way for any kind of counter initiation to happen. You can't go on that.
So PL decided to go back for, or to pick up a Basher. Still waiting on the Shard, but we'll see when that happens.
The Basher's really going to help him in the man fight at the very least. But yeah, the problem with that is that he still doesn't actually have anything to pierce the evasion with. And the misses aren't just, you know, I'm not hitting this guy, but it's also I'm not producing any illusions off of this guy right now. It's double bad for PL.
Yeah. Abaddon has a Psychic Headband. Not an item I would really expect to see on an Abaddon, but you do need cast range, so...
You do, yes, and I think Psychic Headband is better versus a Tusk on pretty much anyone, just because you can hop over those shards if you really need to. Or sorry, shove him out, I should say.
Yeah, you just push him away. Yeah. 5-man smoke here on the side of Aries going into the jungle. They do have a Blink Hex immediately onto the Pangolier. The break is there as well, just immediately blown apart. They bought that borrowed time. Abaddon all by himself. The team kind of rotating in from the north. They get the RP. The Quap, she got scouted, pulled right into 3. Make it 4. She goes down. Oh no.
One by one again. And you can see there, by the way, that the Abaddon popped his his borrowed time manually just because he knows it can't be relied upon in these fights with the Fan of Daggers to actually pop on his own. He made those mistakes a couple of times before. He's learned now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And at this point, you just have to wonder about the PL's item decisions. Like, you don't go for the Manta style, so you don't go fight early with that Manta Diffu. And then afterwards, you go for the Abyssal Blade instead of any form of evasion, and so you still can't fight.
Ooh, he's pulled back. Abyssal Blade comes out, but you're right. He's surrounded. He doesn't have evasion. They're just chewing right through him, but a huge Sonic Wave might give him the space he needs. They take down the Earth Spirit. They lose the Queen of Pain. Oh, she almost goes down. MS bottom lane on this Phantom Lancer. He is gonna survive. Roll in on Katyu, and that is a dangerous place to be, sir.
Katyu once again trying to prolong a fight that is kind of already over. And sure, his PL is healing up. He's trying to make time for that, make time for re-engaging with the Abaddon perhaps. But most of the rest of your team fight is already gone.
They just barely miss Roshan there. It's respawning in 1 second. Unlucky there for Aries. They do find the Abaddon, and he's dead. The silence break, you actually can't ultimate.
Nothing to be done.
And now they will walk into the Roshan now as it has been scouted. PA gonna make quick work of this, especially with the help of Tag Team. And
Tag
she
Team's absolutely huge for this.
Does she have an... Oh, we'll have to double check. I feel like I saw her just queue up a Monkey King bar. But I'm I'm not 100% sure on that one.
I didn't see that either. Well, that looked more like a rapier to me.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if she ends up going for a rapier. Timeless Relic there.
Absolutely no threat to her. Like, oh, this is why the PL hasn't gone any evasion piercing item himself. The MKB is on the Pangolier. I just feel like the Pango in the team fights has to be rolling around, has to be controlling the backline. He doesn't have time to deal any damage to that PA just yet. He's got a lot of other tasks to focus on.
PA did go for an MKB. She's got one herself. Just in case he was ever to get it. Yeah. And another break silence and another kill onto Zhao Fu's Abaddon. A nice smoke gank that nets them a big kill. Honestly, Abaddon's a huge part of the survivability here for the PL in these last couple fights. And now Lulu's just going to sit here working on this mid-tier, or this mid lane of Rax. A nice snowball initiation onto the bottom lane. PL, he's just dead. He has buyback. The Rolling Thunder, it's not doing anything. They're all protected by the BKBs, holding him in place. They're jumping up onto the high ground. A nice Sonic Wave, but a two-man silence. Instead, a huge crit once again from the PA. And 3 heroes dead without buybacks. They almost get the PL again with the skewer. Ulu is so strong and borderline unstoppable here.
This is really why it surprises me that he did not go for the rapier. You can afford it at this point. I don't think there's anybody who can kill him. The decision to have the Pangolier
go in comes Mag.
It's pretty disastrous.
Yeah, they're gonna grab him. Then Abyssal Blade comes out, but again, PL, you're just not where you want to be. And Earth Spike just barely off the mark, but they're able to get the kill onto Mun. Maybe the second as well. MS on the run. Skewer the daggers. They're coming through. PA just continues to chase. These Fan of Knives are just destroying him. That's a dieback. And that's the GG, Kips.
It should be. And LBZS really outplaying themselves here, honestly. Just a little bit sloppy on their map positioning. I didn't feel like their wards were in the right places at times. And then the tendency to take engagements that they really couldn't afford to take was what sealed the deal into this PA coming back into the game.
Yeah, that was quite surprising to me. I thought, for sure the Phantom Lancer, a hero that we've seen just absolutely dominate so far in this patch, was going to have a pretty good game. He was off to a fantastic start, just leaps and bounds in front of the PA to start it off. But opting not to go to the Shard in a fight where he's probably better off just kind of poking with these illusions and with these Spirit Lances. just never ended up coming out. And as a result, PA just absolutely dominant in these fights. They have BKB piercing disables in the form of RP. Lion had some fantastic pickoffs. Jump.
Oh yeah.
And take a look at some of these replays here. But oh yeah, this was the first death with the haste rune. This one was so awkward.
Blinks through. I don't know. This was a nice engagement though. Snowball kind of off the mark with the save. RP doesn't get to go off at all. Irving's had 2 amazing team fights this game. And honestly, I think that's enough out of your Pango. Most of the time, you only need 1.
Yeah, it just feels like every single fight, no matter what they end up doing, they don't really get much out of these. This RP was huge, absolutely turning the fight. They do end up cleaning up a little bit with PL here, right? But it feels like it's never enough.
It isn't, and I think this perfectly shows off the problem with the PL's build here is that he didn't go for killing the backlines and he didn't go for the PA either. He did this sort of half kind of build where, yeah, I can sort of stand up to the PA, but I don't have enough damage to kill the backlines. And then the PA crits me down. Like, either you go for the MPB, or you make sure to go for the shard and you go kill everybody else. You just had neither. Kills 1 lion here.
Yeah, it just seems so interesting the way that this worked. I think overall, like every single one of these fights just keep going further and further really in favor of Aries. Yeah.
I think Udo also picked his battles very wisely. Like, he always made sure to get his teammates to get him out in these rougher moments. Tusk gets cleaned up here, and I think that's the last fight that LBZS takes in any way, shape, or form. Every time I see Katya, he's just in too deep.
There was just that one fight that was behind the tier 2 tower in mid that like gave me hope for LBZS here, right? Where it looked like they were finally getting momentum going back their way. A lot of it just on the back of the Pangolier, but I mean, this is another time where they're just completely baited out, and the Queen of Pain just does not feel like an impactful hero in these fights.
Not at all. She has no survivability in this game. Just gets critted down by the PA way too easily. She went for her Shivas as well, and it just doesn't really seem to matter. So many team fights this game though.
Yeah, it's really just non-stop brawling past like the 15-minute mark, it seems. Like they're just constantly going at it. And you got to feel bad for the Abad. And like Zhao Fu here, just the whole second half of the game, it just felt like he had no game at all. This is the fight right here where, you know, it really felt like
it does look so good.
There was something coming back here for the side of the Radiant. It was still a very even game up until this point, but they never killed a Phantom Assassin. That's the one common thread between all of these fights is PA survives through all of them.
And I think this was also one of the few fights where they actually took the fight on their terms. They were grouped up from the start. It wasn't just some scrappy engagement that Aster.Aries started somewhere. Beautiful find here, by the way.
That was so sick. And yeah, kind of the final fight of the game here when you get the PL, he has to buy back and then ends up dying here shortly after. Again, the Sonic Wave comes through, but they're sitting at full HP. They just don't really seem to care. MVP goes to Ulu. I'm really not surprised. He played pretty much perfect. 0 deaths. He actually had 0 deaths.
0 deaths?
That's pretty good.
I can respect that, yeah. And very well done by the entirety of his team. They just, no panic. They kept looking for these pickoffs. They kept safeguarding that triangle where Ulu could farm up. And then eventually it really doesn't take much more than just taking those principles through to the end, and LBZS just never really put up any resistance against it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is just game one here of the best of three. So we are going to be going to a short break here, and we'll be back with game two of LBZS and Aries. So stay tuned, everyone. We'll see you in just a little bit.
请天辉方禁用英雄，请夜眼方禁用英雄。还剩10秒。
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the CNDPC. My name is R.Cryptic. Of course, I'm here with Kips, and we've got game number 2 here of LBZS and Aster.Aries. Now, game 1 was honestly kind of back and forth, Kips. What do you think? What should we expect here for game number 2?
Really, for LBCS to sort of like kick each other in the shins and be like, "Come on, we're better than this, right? We're the upper division team here."
Yeah, I would agree, right?
These are the upstarts. Get yourself together, guys. I don't think that Aster.Aries didn't deserve that win, by the way. That was really well played from them. I didn't actually see many mistakes, apart from the fact that their draft just had a couple of mistakes that they got to play around. Because, yeah, not too much pressure from LBZS, and it seems like LBZS are like, fine, we're gonna redo this. Yeah,
I was gonna say, did you notice anything about the draft yet, Kips? Is it the exact same draft we just saw?
Yep, with the exact same bands too, but Pangolier gets taken out now.
Yeah, Pangolier gets banned.
Like, alright, fine. The only
Something will be
reason
different.
they had any team fights at all.
Yeah, something must be different here in game number 2. They've got to mix it up a little bit. The Darkseer, Leshrac, Underlord, all mainly just 3 heroes that deal with Phantom Lancer really well. But that does leave the Mag PA still in the pool if Aster.Aries decide to go that route again.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they kind of got away with it in the previous game, but at the same time, LBZS didn't deal with it. It's so weird to talk about their previous game, because you know that they would have had tools to deal with it if they did something differently. Yeah, Aster.Aries are just like, fine, we'll take the Lion. It's good. They didn't even get to show off any multi-mana drain versus the PL yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't necessary.
Why not? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And honestly, Lion, I think right now we talked about just a very strong hero. Feels really impactful, having just 2 big disables. Of course, the Finger of Death and Mana Drain, just incredibly useful as well, helping just burst down or in the lane stage to be such a nuisance with the Mana Drain. So I like this a lot.
One of the things that I like most about both Lion and Shadow Shaman is, if you look at it in a team context, what these heroes force is multiple ways of engagement. If you have only one hero that jumps into the enemy team, and the enemy team has a single hero with 2 disables, then whoever your initiator is just going to get bursted down and destroyed, and it won't be able to do anything at all. Because you're going to have to follow up with heroes that don't jump, and you're going to have to follow up into that Lion who you presumably can't even really see. And it requires 2 avenues of initiation to really deal with these heroes well. Like, you know, you stun one, you hex the other, but then you don't really have time to deal with either. Whereas if you get to stun and hex the same one, that's stonks for Lion. So, especially versus this PL, where you already know that, alright, this carry is not going to be the one jumping in anytime soon, you're going to be looking at most likely a support to initiate, and then maybe another Queen of Pain type hero. This line is already making it hard for LBZS to fight, and they haven't really picked anyone yet. Alright, Earth Spirit now.
They go back for the Earth Spirit again. So this was... And then there's Mag. Okay. It can't be an identical game because Pangolier is banned. But what is the option here? Do they just go for the Phantom Lancer? Or I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I don't know. Phantom Lancer's already picked, of course. There's no way to go back for the Queen of Pain, right? It felt like the Queen of Pain was incredibly weak last game.
Yeah, like maybe some of it had to do with the fact that she simply did not dominate her lane. They're just replaying it, man. Are they... If they ban Bloodseeker Juggernaut now?
I mean, yeah, you have to, right? They ban Juggernaut. What? This is a first for me. I've casted a lot of Dota and I've never seen a literal identical draft through the first 8 picks. This is awesome.
I have seen this once before, and the team that actually lost the first one messed it. Like they definitely did way better in the second one. I believe they also won it, but it was very weird to watch.
The question is, do they ban the PA here? Right? The last time they banned the Bloodseeker, I feel like there's no way you give them Mag PA again after last game.
Yeah, like I think you shouldn't either. But I mean, at least that's a co-op now instead of later because the Pango is out.
And they banned the Troll. That was the other hero you were talking about that we thought was like a really strong pick. I'm starting to feel like Aries is very likely to pick Phantom Assassin here. I don't know about you, Kips.
That's your assessment. I have nothing to add to that.
It's gotta be, right? What do you do?
Yeah. And she didn't even have that much of a rockstar game until like 25 minutes in.
And they banned the Viper. It's definitely gonna be Phantom Assassin.
Yeah. All right, LBZS, what you got?
What's the change? What is the new hero? What is the big, you know, okay, there's a Mars. I can get behind that. Except PA still does really well against Mars in lane. So this is not like a this is not like the best. It's not the best pick, but it is a great team fighting hero at least. Do they switch it up though? That's the question. You know, will they decide to switch up, or are they just gonna go back for the PA?
I'm just sort of dying over it. I got a really nasty cough right now, and it's like maybe I'm having an allergic reaction.
Oh
to
no!
This game.
Oh no! Take the time you need. Don't die on us.
I'm trying, but I'm actually crying right now.
Oh my gosh!
Like, I wish Dota didn't do these things to me, you know, but. Can't tell. I mean, Mars is they needed another team fighter, and Mars is definitely one that can also survive the PA later on. Like if she actually jumps him, you're going to be much more survivable. You're not one of those heroes that gets picked off around the PL.
All right, Monkey King.
Any two heroes get okay. Well. I guess the Mars worked in the sense that they made Aries adjust their draft here in the last picks. But yeah, MK lanes even better into the Mars and is going to be able to claim these areas that Mars actually wants to stand his ground in as his own with his ultimate, with the monkey helpers. I really like this draft for Aster.Aries.
Yeah, I do too. I'm with you on that one. It looks like just, again, another like really solid draft from Aster.Aries, and neither team wanting to deviate too far from, I guess, what they're comfortable with. You know, we come back, first 8 picks identical, and we get, you know, the last 2 picks something new, a little fresher breath air. Wow, that was definitely not how that was supposed to. You know what I meant to say.
Yes. It's pretty well.
You know, it's late. You know, it's fine. But yeah, we've got a game 2 coming up here, LBZS versus Aster.Aries. Obviously, Aster.Aries up game 1 here, and I'm excited to see how this goes. If this plays out any different, I think we both agreed that the game 1 draft was pretty good for LBZS, but just struggled a little bit in the team fights. And here we go. We're jumping into game number 2. Should be a lot of fun.
It should be, yes. So we're not going to get to see any big crits this time around, but honestly, the synergy between Monkey King and the Magnus is maybe even better than with the PA, just because once you RP people, you can also shove them into the MK ult. You have a lot of control there. Going to be multiple Monkey Kings hitting everybody. It's going to be great if Aster.Aries can get their team fight combination off, and once again, really outdrafting LBZS on at least a team fight front as well. There's a lot of options for LBZS once again, But if they're simply standing together, then Aster.Aries definitely has the advantage. And I always like that ease of execution angle.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this ward position. They're actually going to hold both of them here. They see Xiaofu on the low ground. Monkey King just hiding behind that tree line. If he walks anywhere forward, he is in so much trouble. Oh, he's going to see him. Make it back to the tree line. Xiaofu's going to be fine. He doesn't actually know how many heroes are here, though. He only really saw one. Boundless Strike comes out. They're going to turn it around. Tag team, the pullback from that Magnus. They get the first blood on the Tusk.
Yeah. Listen, this is a Tusk. All 5 are there.
Yeah.
That is the assumption you gotta make. Tag team is so powerful in level 1. You're always going to look for that first blood, exactly like it happened right there. Man, I can't believe that he signed up for another game like this.
Gets an identical experience. There is no break on the like from the PA this time, so he should be able to at least get ultimates off. But yeah, that was the problem. Last game, they just fan and knives silence him, and he's like, okay, I guess I'll just die.
Yep. And one of the problems with an Abaddon is really that if the fights aren't happening on your terms, then the possibility is that you just want the first people to get caught, you need to use all of your spells on yourself, or, you know, your ult gets triggered early, and then you don't really get to save anybody. Like, an Abaddon wants to sit in the back of a fight that his team is taking, and then make sure to spend all of the saves on whoever needs them. And that just never really happened. That makes you feel so useless.
Mid lane, a lot of harassment onto that Queen of Pain, and just gets an early level 2, allows him to bully out his lane opponent, and as a result, ooh, that high ground miss might have saved him, actually.
Definitely very important for him to get that there. And yeah, let's see if he goes for the blink on level 2 again, if he once again rates getting the rune that the Death Prophet wants over just, you know, 1 rune each.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. I think right now we're probably gonna see pretty similar lanes as last game, as they're pretty much the same lanes. You know, there's not gonna be a lot that's different. Monkey King should do pretty decent against the Mars. Yes, you do have a lot of magic damage coming out here between these 2 heroes, so if Monkey King gets caught out of position, or if Tusk is not there to save him, they could actually punish him.
There's definitely burst options here. But the monkey, like the PA, has options to keep his distance as well. And the Queen of Pain here once again going into the Scream build, which is... It just feels like normally when you play the Queen of Pain, sure, the first 3 levels are going to be pretty rough, and then you have level 2 and Dagger and the lane turns around, and that turnaround is just not happening right now. Yeah, she's just opting to farm. I mean, last game, the Queen of Pain was incredibly farmed at like the 15-minute mark. She was second on net worth just to the Phantom Lancer, who, I mean, was enormous. But that net worth didn't really turn into much was the problem, right? She had this super early BKB, which I guess isn't as bad as it used to be, right? Having the BKB only go to a minimum of 6 seconds as opposed to 5 seconds means you're not as punished for getting it early. You're gonna go ahead and snowball here to the top lane. Tag team comes out. Spear's just gonna shove that Tusk away. Boulder roll off the mark, so he will be fine. But yeah, what I was gonna say is like the BKB didn't really net them anything, it felt like. No, and I think the trade-off with like the fact that the enemy mid just doesn't get kept out of the game either is maybe not worth it here. We saw a very strong center of the team fight kind of Death Prophet in the previous game, which is exactly what a Death Prophet wants to be able to do. Another go on Irving. Beautiful play. He ends up holding that mango, thinking he might be fine there, but ends up not working out. And this is, again, just the effectiveness of the Monkey King into the Mars, and with Tusk playing so aggressive and right in his face, they can definitely punish this hero. Bottom lane, Shockwave. Xiaofu in some trouble, protected for the moment by the Aphotic Shield, but a couple auto attacks, he pops that stick. Can he make it under the tower? Shockwave in 1, it is level 2, and that will find the kill. Another one going the way of Aries, now up 0-3. This Monkey King lane, honestly, stronger than the PA lane before. And that's really troublesome for LBZS, because the last time at least they had a bunch of time because the PA needed to recover, needed to stick to that triangle. This Monkey King is going to do perfectly fine. And he's got turnaround potential on that lane. You can see here they're just pulling the wave already. Irving doesn't actually want to have to contest this Monkey King anymore. And that's on 4 minutes.
Xiaofu TP's mid, refills the bottle there, and heals him with a mist coil. So a nice support play from the Abaddon. That's always something that you really need to rely on, honestly, as a mid laner. If you don't have those support rotations, you can really just lose that regen war. They are going to be able to catch the Tusk here in the jungle. Screaming Pain comes out. Will find it. So their first kill, this one going the way of the Queen of Pain. A nice pick off for sure.
Yeah, it's good to get handed something, but I just can't believe that LBZS picked 2 lanes where the enemy did so well and maybe even overperformed in the previous game and just said, yeah, we're going to do that again. We're going to have our Quap go 50-50 or maybe even lose to the Death Prophet mid again, and we're going to just let this mag on bot lane free farm. That worked out perfectly fine last time around.
That's the thing to me that's surprising, is it's not necessarily like the PL got shoved out. They just traded farm. Like, they both ended up really farmed after the lane stage. But it was the mid lane that was a disaster. Like, these 3 points in Scream of Pain, she can't threaten the Death Prophet. Having, you know, 3 points in Dagger here, maybe you can actually just throw the dagger and force her to try and use Spirit Siphon. And it feels really odd that she's opting to go for this like hyper farm build as opposed to like this pressure build. Yeah,
so much less pick-off potential right now as well, just because you don't have that slow to your name. Way harder to stick on top of targets. It just feels awkward. And it feels like they're banking on getting a lot of time that Aster.Aries is just going to do more with. Like, sure, we saw the PL in the previous game also having a lot of time. And Aster.Aries saying like, okay, fine, like, you farm, we farm, let's see who comes out on top. Well, we all knew what happened there.
Yeah, looking at net worth here. Pretty even, actually, amongst the top 6 heroes. Just a slight gold advantage here for Aster.Aries, which is expected. A little bit more regen being committed to the mid lane. A little bit good, better farming coming out from the off lanes, right? The Mars versus the Magnus. And speaking of which, Magnus is actually second, almost tied for top net worth. And he is just crushing this once again.
This time around, last game, it was the PA who was lagging a little bit. And instead it's the Mars now. Well, at least his rotation is coming out now. We're going to see what the Queen of Pain can do now. She's actually taking the initiative as opposed to, you know, getting caught in the river.
Oh, what a read. That was beautiful. What a sick boulder roll there by Catyu.
What a player. Like, when he's good, this man is real good. You know, when he's bad, I guess you get previous game where he's definitely showing off his aggressive side, but it doesn't lead to much.
Yeah.
Which is still pretty decent. I'd rather have that in my Earth Spirit than somebody who just gives up and decides to not play the game anymore.
Mid lane, a nice rotation in here from the Dire. Exorcism was committed. They're trying to just pull them off the tower, right? You've got Irving here. Arena Spear does come out, pins him against the wall. A really nice spear, actually. The question is, can they finish off Phoenix? He's getting super low, and the Spirits are going to come back and heal him in time, and they even rotate MS to the mid lane as well. I mean, there's 9 heroes that are in mid.
Well, something that honestly I would have liked to see on the previous game instead. Like, losing your mid tower that early and with no contest is absolutely unacceptable. So LBZS at least shutting the gates for now. I know they want to be forming all of those camps. They can't exactly afford to let that space go. So sure, just rotate the PL through. You can go towards the triangle now. You can maybe help out with a possible tower trade on the safe lane right now.
Yeah, they're looking really good here on LBZS. As far as like I would say expectations, that kill in the mid lane onto the Death Prophet netted them quite a bit, but you do have, you know, this Monkey King Magnus combo, which you've got to be worried about. He is going for a first item BKB though.
But once again, really showing the belief that the Magnus is going to bring in the damage on those early levels. And with early levels, I mean like the early times when you're going to get involved in games. It's a bit weird though. I definitely think that he could take over from the PL really hard, and he's going to, in fact, he's going to want to clear PL illusions no matter what. Like BKB early. The more I think about it, the more confused I am. Like, you definitely have some time here to build up any kind of farming item missiles. Like, you can get a Battle Fury, you can get a Milner, just something that helps you clear the illusions as well.
Yeah, I was thinking, you know, Maelstrom, and he just actually queues it up. So,
yeah,
that makes a lot of sense to me. I was like, I feel like you have to just go Maelstrom here and rely on like Maelstrom Ags with the Empower, right? And
yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I like this decision a lot more. Ulu does now have that Javelin, queued up that Mithril Hammer, so we should see a first item Maelstrom coming out. Snowball pushes that Queen of Pain off the regen rune. That's actually kind of big, as Death Prophet's going to pick it up instead. Nice shard block there, trying to pull them closer and closer to the team. Good two-man silence, but is Tusk actually going to survive this? No, a spear from Irving will find the kill. But he does get the, I mean, you don't want to have to die there. I guess keeping the Queen of Pain off the regen is a somewhat nice, but a good pick off from LBZS there.
Good little find. Now they get to threaten on the mid tower a little bit more. And a D-ward out as well. That always feels very good.
Queen of Pain doing the same build. She's got the BKB queued up as well. 4-4, 10 minutes in, almost 11 minutes in. Almost dead even on net worth and experience. I mean, this is kind of what we saw last game. It started out very even. Aster.Aries maybe a slight advantage. Last game it was a slight advantage for LBZS, but
yeah, 2 to 3K.
Yeah, it was very close, and we're kind of seeing the same thing here. The difference, you know. Oh, nice snipe there from Zhaofu.
Cheeky. And once again, Aster.Aries are taking stacks. This time it's Ancients. And that's a tool that I didn't really see LBZS use in the last game either. Of course, the PL is not as great at taking stacks as a Monkey King with Empower is. But still, that's a bit of a supercharge for your farm there nonetheless.
Yeah, nice Spear Arena combo once again coming out. This one, Yuna gonna try and make it out of the arena. Great bound this strike. Boulder kick, not gonna connect, but a missed coil. Level 2 ends up finding the kill. That was a sick dodge, actually, on the Lion there. Just barely missing that boulder.
That's very nice, but it does also put him in range of the missed coil.
Yeah.
So he's literally between a rock and a hard place.
Love to see it.
Right now, Aster.Aries not really grouping up around that Death Prophet just yet. They're clearly keeping an eye out for this mid tower, but it feels like they only really want to pop that Exorcism in a defensive move and then move on to the enemy mid tower instead. Or really any enemy tower that's there, as opposed to popping it on their own terms first. I feel very confident with where this game is going. Anyway.
Bottom lane, they find Ulu. This is a great initiation that should be enough to find the kill. It is. All right, a sick rotation. It's gonna cost them their mid tower. You gotta try and push bottom here, I suppose. Get something out of this, right?
I figured they... I was talking about it. I thought you go for the mid tower here, right? And I guess the fact that they put the Monkey King out so far was like, alright, either we get engaged upon here on the mid tower, or our Monkey King is dead right now, but at least we get the mid. And that's an okay trade to make, especially when your monkey has so many methods of amplifying his own farm.
Huge arena. RP comes out. Borrow time giving him some space, but you're going to lose Irving there on the Mars. Sonic Wave comes out, just barely misses Yuna. Again, this man, he's got his dancing shoes on. You can't find him. It's like the third time this guy has almost died to a Sonic Wave.
A rough engagement for LBZS, once again, they really don't find what they're looking for. They don't get a tower. They lose their mid, in fact, without contesting it. And all they got was a Monkey King kill.
Well, they might get Tusk here. A fight over the rune. Haste rune picked up, and they will go ahead and take down the Tusk. A nice grab. The tips, I mean, that's a very optimistic tip there. You know, I feel like...
I don't think he feels very insulted.
Yeah, right? I was going to say the same thing. I was like, I feel like last time he went for the rune, he actually killed someone, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Hiding up in the trees there is that Monkey King has Wukong's command available. And, yep, now it's not available.
Yeah, looks good though.
Tower protected. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what matters the most, I suppose.
Exactly. But a little bit awkward there.
Yeah.
That's not the synergy I was looking for.
Yeah, not at all. I think we're both like, all right, there's gonna be a big fight here, right? And then there's not. So, but you know, it happens to the best of us.
It happens more often to the worst of us.
This is very true. Yeah. Great point, Kips. Game's still super even. It's a 7-5 game, you know, 1000 XP slightly for LBZS, but nearly even on gold. You have a Blink Dagger, I suppose, on Irving. That's a great find. The Maelstrom completed on the Monkey King, going for the BKB.
It's a lot easier to go for that Blink on the Mars now that you have a little bit more int, a little bit extra mana. You don't feel as, I can't say like forced, but like the Yules is a little bit less appealing for that reason. And with this Blink, you can really also play on your own and make plays on your own, as opposed to Yules where you really need somebody else to help you follow up as well. Or to help you get the engagement in the first place. And I think Kachu is kind of done with rolling in and dying this game.
Yeah. I was going to say, this I'm getting some deja vu here where PL takes the top net worth spot, right? They're going to go into Roshan, believe it or not. And it's not the fastest Rosh, but PL does do a lot of damage. A scan right on the mark. They can respond to this. I mean, you've got everything available. There's going to be the smoke. Can they make it in time? It's going to be really close. Magnus, does he have a Blink Dagger, actually? The smoke, it is going to get popped. They drop the shards in there. He does have a Blink. The silence on the backside. Beautiful play there from Katyu. And Arena here to try and zone these guys out. The question is, what can they do with this? They've got to try and escape. Wukong's command inside of an RP. Oh, no. It turns right back around. The PL, he's trapped there. Big Sonic Wave. He will be able to doppelganger outside of that Wukong's command, but Shards actually trapping the Abaddon. A skewer pulls him right back into Aries. And they somehow turn it around. I thought this fight was looking really good for LBZS, and suddenly not so much.
That start from Katyu was absolutely amazing. That silence, they get wiped there if he doesn't silence the mag at that time.
Yeah. Absolutely. He was in the process of trying to cast that Blink RP, and yeah, that quick little geomagnetic grip right over those two heroes just absolutely saved their team completely.
No Blink, no RP, but then it feels like they almost forget that that spell is still up. And
yeah,
still
we'll be able to see it here again. Here. Oh, it's so good. I mean, that RP would have happened the moment Roshan died too, so they probably would have lost the Aegis. It was an absolutely perfect. Yeah, absolutely perfect timing.
Here? Oh, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. That's so nice. It's just a really good hold there from Aries. It looked kind of rough to start it off, and they managed to turn around. They get the Aegis +2. It was a really great fight.
And you can definitely see again there that the ease of execution in the team fights is way over on Aries' side. All they have to do is plop down that Monkey King circle, press R on the Death Prophet, and then the mag is the only one who has to actually hit his spells.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be seeing, you know, how effective this Magnus Monkey King combo is going to be as the game goes on. Dotapla is actually giving LBZS a massive favor here. 63% despite the game being so even.
I think it really likes PL.
Yeah.
I'm probably a bit biased towards the Phantom Lancer here, but The problem is that I don't really see a scenario in this game where, at least the Monkey King doesn't burst your other heroes that hard. He's more likely to go toe-to-toe with the PL. I'm not sure if that's better.
Yeah, that was just a beautiful pick off there. The ward placed right over the tree line by Katyu, and just responds with that spear. Arena comes down. They do find the Queen of Pain. She gets the BKB off, and they're going to try and just go ahead and fight right away. Monkey King now, he finished the TP. He turns the BKB on, but he's all by himself.
Wait,
he doesn't have the health to sit through this. He just needs to run. A nice Earth Spike dodge there from the PL, and Ulu, he drops a Wukong, a Boundless Strike, but just dies. That was his 9-second BKB.
What? Did LBZS and Aster just swap places?
Yeah, that was really
Because I
bizarre.
remember LBZS taking weird fights with throwing extra heroes at a scenario that was already lost, but that was the previous game.
Yeah, that was a very interesting death there on the Monkey King. Like, it felt like he just didn't need to complete the TP in. Maybe there was just some miscommunication there on who was actually going to, on whether or not they wanted to actually fight. But now LBZS pull quite a bit ahead, especially since the Monkey King is going to be sidelined for a little bit here, and the PL just going to continue to advance on the net worth.
Yes, and now we're approaching an interesting window where, for example, Irving is working on a BKB. There's a BKB on the Quap already, we know this, and you're going to have to produce enough physical damage over on the Monkey King to survive that window without losing all of your team fights. The Death Prophet can only do so much. And that's definitely looking worse for the endgame right now than it did for the PA in the previous game.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're just barely off the mark with that sentry, that ward there in the dire jungle, scouting this whole rotation. Mid lane, they find Death Prophet, but she's just going to use the Yules, and she'll be fine. PL, once again, Sanj and Yasha completed after the defusal. No shard yet. We'll see if he decides to pick it up this game. Aries goes ahead and smokes up on 3. They're going to sit behind the Death Prophet here in the mid lane. I mean, this could be a big fight for them if they try to make this initiation. Obviously, the Lion would love to get a pick off, but the Abaddon, it's not really the target you want to find.
Never the target you want to find, ever.
No, that's who they found.
Not.
Spirit in Arena. He immediately gets that borrowed time off Queen of Pain. Hasted up, has BKB available. They just take down the Magnus. That means no RP for your Wukong's command, and they just walk on out. Even the Exorcism committed. It's time to run.
Awkward.
Yeah, right. It seems like another awkward initiation here.
The mags should really not be that far up front. Like, if you put anywhere up there in order to bait out the engagement, it should probably be your Tusk, because you know that you need that team fight combo. He said he's the only one who has to hit his spells.
Monkey King might be in some trouble here. Boundless Strike comes out. He gets the Magnetize off the BKB to protect him, but the Spear comes out onto Tusk. Ooh. Nice stun onto Zhao Fu there, but I think if you're the Radiant, you don't mind continuing this chase. In comes Magnus, the Skewer. He pulls the Abaddon, but again, this is not the target you want. The borrowed time coming off cooldown here in 1 second. Behind the tower, they jump, they take down the Tusk. Now Phoenix on the Death Prophet, gotta be careful, pops that Essence Ring. Yules to try and buy herself a little bit of time, but it just sets up for a Spear. 2 heroes dead. They even find Lion hiding in the trees. Not today, sir. And they will take down a 3rd. Maybe a 4th. Do they see Mag? Oh, they see Mag. He has no blink up. Another Spear comes out, pinning him against the wall, and LBZS will take a 4-for-0.
Well, this is definitely the game that I expected the previous game to be, but now it just feels like almost a disappointment over on Aster.Aries' end. Like they try to take the initiative twice, they don't really get any good fights out of it. And this PL clearly has learned his lesson from the previous time, and he's not just sitting back, he's getting involved. There's not really anything that this Monkey King can do against it, and unlike the PA, he's not farming his triangle right now. He hasn't been there for a while, and he's just falling behind.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, you've had this BKB on the Monkey King now twice, and it hasn't really netted you anything. The big idea here is you get this, you know, Wukong's command into big RP, and we haven't seen that happen outside of that fight at the Roche Pit. And even then, it was mainly just for the Aegis.
Yep. And I mean, that was the only scenario where LBZS were just going to be grouped up naturally for that RP. And they still counterplayed that.
He is closing in on it. I mean, he's not really closing in on Nags. He's still 2,000 away almost.
Yeah. And he could have had that by now if he didn't have the BKB. And I think all of the fights where he got involved, he didn't actually need to get involved. I think it's part of it is just the fact that you're playing a Monkey King. It can be very tempting to get involved early on a Monkey King because you have a lot of escape options. You can, in fact, output a lot of damage, especially against this Mars. You can man fight him. But we've seen it, like, it's just kind of too dangerous. So he gets this BKB, just ends up tempting him into taking fights that he could have just skipped.
I'm trying to figure out, you know, what do you do here if you're the side of Ares? You've got these BKBs online now, especially the second one being picked up on the Death Prophet, but it doesn't feel like they have the catch. It seems like it's just been Irving on this Mars setting up so many good fights for them, and there is going to be a 5-man smoke pretty much immediately as we talk. I think you just run the Death Prophet in the front with the Tusk and, you know, be ready with that BKB as fast as possible. They're going to run into the Mars here. He gets the blank off. He's just
smoke didn't break.
Yeah, he's just sniffing out. He's a little bit worried. Oh, he's coming over to his team as they will smoke instead. Now, Dire Smoke about to expire. They are in a good position there on their own high ground, but LBZS going to look into the triangle instead.
Good choice taking that high ground of their own instead of moving on into the Dire jungle and fighting up into the high ground, where they've presumed that smoke has been for a while now. And yeah, Aster.Aries not getting anything done with that. A little bit of defensive vision, but I would have really liked to see them try and place vision on the opposite high ground. Of course, that would have been way riskier. But you have BKBs. The Mars Arena is not as scary right now as it has been before.
Speaking of BKB, Queen of Pain popped hers. Nice boundless strike out in the bottom lane. They do slow down the Abaddon. Yeah, I don't know what. I mean, I guess she was just pushing the tower and popped BKB because of Lion.
Very likely. It's one of the ways to use a BKB now. It's a little bit easier to just pop it, right? You don't get that much time at the start. You don't lose that much time, like, absolutely towards the end.
There it is. The PL itemizing for the shard this time. Love to see it. Now, jump in on the top lane. Hex comes out. Wukong's command is there. Great arena and RP. Can they take down this Phantom Lancer in time? The damage just isn't there. MSC's able to escape. Despite everything being thrown at him, he's going to be fine. He's got this Heart of Tarrasque regen. He's going to come right back.
And that was all of the team fight control.
Yeah, they even popped the BKB on Cat U. They run the BKB on DP here, and he's going to try and just do his best to run away, but is it even going to be enough? Spirit Siphon is out. He did use the Essence Ring as well. I mean, you got to get these spirits to come back if you want to heal it up, but the Exorcism still running, and they find the kill on the Death Prophet.
Not enough damage. Well, there's the Aghanim's for the Monkey King, but it's all just a little bit too late, isn't it?
That's exactly what I was feeling. Oh, so close in that mid lane.
I feel like a broken record here, but this is... Ooh, yeah, that was really close. This feels like the game that Game 1 was supposed to be.
Yeah, it does. It feels like this is what we both were expecting from the Game 1.
And there's still like a couple of awkward choices, like the Quap can't really make pickoffs on her own, but she can split push with like the immediate BKB. And she's a force to be reckoned with now because she has been farming very nicely with the maxed speed. And now LBZS are just hitting their window, and it's extremely hard for Aster.Aries to just produce enough damage for this Phantom Lancer, which previously wasn't really an issue because this PA was jumping around, killing other heroes, and they were sort of leading MS around the teamfight instead. But Monkey King is a bit of a different beast. They need a teamfight combination. And I guess yeah, they need damage on him, and they don't have that.
Yep, they get Aegis, Cheese, and the Shard. It looks like they put the Shard on the Queen of Pain, giving her the AoE Silence on Blink, which is pretty nice. Nice roll on 4. They do get the kill onto the Tusk. Pretty easy pick off for them. They're going to continue the chase here as they go further and further.
This is, in fact, the Kachu gameplay I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
There's going to be an AC on the clock this time around. No Shiva, so they're really ready to take these buildings. Still a lot of armor for her.
Alright, he's going the Shard Octarine build now on the Phantom Lancer, now that he has his 3 core items.
I respect that.
I actually like that build a lot. I hear a BKB popped. It's just an Earth Spirit. And he's actually going to force them to just TP out. He's continuing the chase here on the Magnus, who has no way to escape, and will just fall to the Queen of Pain. What a sick play by Katyu with this BKB.
Yeah, he suspects that the heroes that were split pushing the bot lane still actually haven't returned to their side of the map, and he's got a BKB, so he's perfectly safe to go in there. And yeah, great stuff. Now with the fact that their other heroes were on mid still, they're going to have 2 waves in. Once again, going to be able to take that bottom tower while keeping control over the mid lane. And everything's coming up LBZS. This is a question of playing it out now. You have seen that your PL is too big to die.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see how PL dies anymore. I mean, you can die basically getting RP'd in a Wukong's command with 0 help, right? That's definitely still possible. But you have Aegis. You've got an Octarine eventually going to be coming out to you. Yeah, this is looking pretty rough.
Dive the fountain.
You could dive the fountain. Humble God, I think, has proven that that's a very common thing for PL nowadays. Nice pick off there for Katyu once again. Oh my goodness, it's so good.
It is, by the way, my opinion that if you call yourself Humble God, you're neither humble or a god. A man who has to say he is king.
It's not, yeah, I mean, that's I feel like that's fair.
It's got some Big Daddy flavors, you know?
Yeah.
I tried it for a while and then...
Well, the funny thing is he can't change his name.
Yeah, he's stuck with that for now.
He's stuck with it all the way until the end of TI.
And I'll make fun of him for it.
They're smoked up here on Aries. 10 seconds until the mag. You've just lost 1 barracks. He is going to buy back. In comes Wukong's command and an arena, and they walk out. They've got the BKBs. Nothing you can do about this. They'll just wait it out. No problem at all. Jump back in. Ulu in some trouble. A huge RP into 3, but the Wukong's command, it expires. He pulls them back to the tower. But you're just all starting to melt here on the side of the Dire. The Magnetize has been ticking for so dang long. The GG is out. They just wiped them 5 for 0.
LBZS just outlasting them here, and yeah, that Magnetize, don't underestimate the damage. That was definitely huge how long they kept going.
That, and we saw the power of the PL shard in that fight too, where he just throws a couple lances and suddenly there's illusions on every hero.
It looked very good, and I think the item decisions that we were worried coming back to bite Aster.Aries in that first game, like for example the mech on the Magnus, did not end up getting punished in the previous game, but they did end up getting punished here.
Yeah.
And the other way around, the PL just adjusted his item build a little bit, the co-op didn't get caught out as much, and then the game moves pretty much like we expected it to.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly right. We'll be checking out some highlights here of the game. Actually, as we speak, they just pop them up, so we'll take a look here. But this just seemed like this game was what we should have seen in game 1, right? It almost felt like this is what we expected out of the game 1 draft.
This beautiful one with just Katyu absolute boss.
Yeah, the arenas did some serious work as well. Here was the RP, the big one fight here for the side of Aries. You know, you do get the Earth Spirit, but you just really get the shot, the Aegis there on the PL, and he's like, peace, I'm out of here.
I think the most confusing item buy of this game for me was that BKB on Ulu. Like you can see here, he's got enough damage to participate in this. He's a Monkey King. And then later on, he just ends up baiting himself into a couple of fights that are really not good for him.
Yeah, they really expected the Queen of Pain to die there, and he just jumps in and thinks that they have a potential fight, and oh boy, was he wrong. He didn't have Wukong's command either, so this is just like a really, again, another awkward initiation or an awkward fight here coming in from Aries. And again, here in the top lane, he pops the BKB to dodge the spear, but there is just too much damage here from the side of the Radiant, and he cannot fight them.
But it feels like that BKB is an attempt at, like, what else is it supposed to be? Like, you could split push with it, I suppose. But with the way how his team is itemized as well, the Magnus with the mech still, it's clear they want to fight, and they just don't have the damage. They are so reliant on the Death Prophet Exorcism for all of their damage needs, and that's only up every, like, 1.5 to 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, this fight was just such a long fight, but it's just one after another heroes on the side of Aries just getting picked off and dying. And
that's exactly how it goes when you lack damage, right? You just focus what's in front of you, you don't get it, they back off, and meanwhile they'll just be going one by one with this PL who really likes these longer fights. Big difference between the Monkey King and the PA there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to wonder, are they regretting not picking the PA for a second time?
Yeah, right? I don't think it was that bad. I think you could have taken the PA. It's a decent matchup into the Mars lane.
Big spear.
Yeah. They will go ahead and MVP goes on to MS 5-0 and 11 from him. A fantastic performance. I mean, not a quite different performance, I suppose, from game number 1, but we've got game 3 coming up. We'll see how it goes. Are we going to see the same almost draft 3 games? Is it possible, Kips? Can we see a 3-peat?
Ooh, I mean, I'd like to see it, but I definitely do think that if you're Aster.Aries here, you want to try something different. Like, you had the initiative with the first draft, you got the first game, now you lost it. Doing it again is extra hard. I'd say switch it up.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. See what else these teams got up their sleeves. It is, I believe, the first game of the DPC for Aries here, correct? LBZS had already completed a series. No, I was correct. I was incorrect. Aries did play against Magma earlier. Never mind.
Lost to Magma. LBZS beat Demon Slayers before as well, so the other open qualifier team. But this one is proving a lot tougher of a nut to crack.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Let's find out in game 3.
All right, everyone. We'll see you in just a short break. Stay tuned for game 3 of LBZS and Aster.Aries. We'll see you in a sec.
请夜眼方禁天辉方禁用英雄，请夜眼方禁用英雄。还剩10秒。 还剩5秒。
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the DPC Division 2. My name is R.Cryptic. I'm here with Kips, and we've got Game 3 between LBZS and Aster.Aries. Finally, we got a little bit of a mix-up in the draft, Kips. Can you believe it?
I can't believe that it's not just the Phantom Lancer out, but also the Abaddon out, which by all means didn't do really anything in either game 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But it does mean that Aster.Aries gets to pick the Phoenix now, who is one of the heroes that was banned first phase up until now. And if LBZS so desires, they could take a look at the Timbersaw, who is the other one who's a staple first phase ban.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it leaves a lot of these picks open for them if they want to go for it. They opt to take the Mars, a little bit of a deny pick as well, because the Mars Phoenix is just so strong. And Mars was quite successful last game, so why not take it?
He was, yes. And I think that they might have a better idea of what allowed Aster.Aries to take that first game. Like the fact that they were just mostly sitting back, mostly waiting for opportunities and pickoffs to be offered to them, and then following up on those. And it's very hard for Mars to get picked off.
All right.
And it's a very good reaction as a TP. And you grab that Lion now as well, so no more early Blink Daggers for Yuna over on that hero.
Yeah, it's like they're kind of stealing a little bit from Aries here. The Lion has been really solid in all of the games. I don't think he's been like an issue at all. As far as like, you know, why, like the loss as far as that goes, but the hero does seem very strong. So why not grab it in the first phase? It's available. We'll see how they do with it.
And this is just a very, it's a nice laning combination together, but it's also a combination that once the game goes further, you can make a lot of plays with this. If you get a blink dagger on both of them, especially, but really you only need one and you're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think one of the things that we'll probably see is some change to the second phase here. I can't imagine we're going to be seeing many of those same heroes we saw in Ares, mainly obviously because, you know, Lion's Band, we have the Phoenix in the first phase, but they'll take the Earth Spirit for themselves. We're just going to swap around the supports a little bit here.
Yeah. Earth Spirit, Phoenix, a lot of team fight with those two, a lot of reach with those two. Earth Spirit, with his multiple disables, definitely making up for the fact that Phoenix has none. And they're pretty free to go for more crowd control here as well, because, well, LBZS hasn't done anything to deal with this first phase Phoenix yet. And they're going to have to find a solution somewhere in the next couple of picks.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's one of those things that sometimes you see teams deciding that they don't really have to deal with the Phoenix, and they usually change your mind in the next map. You always want to have at least one source of attack speed, or at least one hero that's just comfortable naturally dealing with it. One of my faves is just put a Beastmaster somewhere in your lineup and then everybody has more attack speed. Definitely not an option in this patch, because Beastmaster is way too strong to be used just for the attack speed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is like the axes are just so dang good. I think Beastmaster is a mid hero, personally. I don't think he's an off lane anymore with this new build. And so you can definitely fit him into more drafts than you used to be able to.
Mm-hmm.
But you
can definitely beat both right now, but let's be honest, if you have the strength of the mid build, why would you put him on the offlane and sort of miss out on that?
Yeah, exactly. You do have no egg hitter really yet on the side of LBZS, so Aries pretty happy about that. We'll see what they decide to pick up though.
So far, taking out some of the, can I call them like the defensive carries over on LBZS? Both of these definitely have a switching point, but I do feel that they would be suited to that style that Aster tried in the first game, and I guess in the second. And then over on Aries, they're definitely looking to slow down the game a little bit. No more Queen of Pain, which has clearly been a favorite mid pick so far. No Juggernaut. Magnus still in, if either of them wants to try for this.
They could. I mean, the Magnus didn't feel that, you know, for lack of a better word, empowering last game.
It didn't, no.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I think part of that's really down to the build as well. If you go on mech first, you're not really leveraging either the fact that you've had a good lane into more farm or into more aggression. So I'm a big fan of just grabbing the Echo Saber, really taking the time, making sure that you are a presence in your own right. And with that mech build-up, you just don't really get that chance at all. And the first time you team fight is usually with the Blink Dagger, which is later, and then you could have had the Blink Dagger all this time and bought the mech later, because it didn't do anything for your farm either. Yeah. I'm a bit stuck on that mech purchase. Like, buying a mech before you're going to team fight just feels extremely illogical to me. That's just wasted gold.
They do ban out the Timber Saw, okay, so something that we were both kind of surprised to see make it through the first phase. They got rid of Undying as well on Ares. I'm curious if, I mean, if I'm LBZS, I feel like I need to pick a safe lane that, or some hero that can deal with this egg from the Phoenix. There is a Snapfire available, a hero that I think has gotten some pretty significant buffs, which is pretty good at dealing with the egg, right? Just in the form of Lil Shredder. I don't know about what else though.
There's Mirana, definitely a big old fave, and then heroes just straight up ranged carries. Like, you can get a Wind Ranger for your mid lane, you can run a Medusa maybe, and there's of course other attack speed options that can usually wait in, like for example Lifestealer.
Yep, there you go. Correct call.
Bad combination. Oh, nice. Lifestealer so strong right now.
Yeah, he is.
Like, the percentage, like, Valve really needs to think about whenever they give something percentage-based anything, but especially things like lifesteal or damage, because anything over 1% starts adding up very, very quickly.
That is very true. They do get the Razor immediate counter pick here. Now this is probably going to be the offlane Razor. You can run it in the safe lane as well. It's not that great into the Mars because he just spears you away, but it is flexible at least. So they have some stuff to work with here.
It is, yes. And he's just going to take the Lifestealer for a walk. Especially in the mid-game, it's rougher for the Razor. If you don't get your BKB in time, then usually you get shredded before you can actually steal enough damage. But then again, we've seen so many extremely early BKB purchases that, you know, maybe this Razor is just going to go straight BKB after his boots upgrade. We're going to have to see.
Yeah, it's probably I mean, it has to be an early BKB at some point, right? He does need it to deal with the arena. Otherwise, his hero just has no game. So he might rush BKB right out of the gate. He could just go for, I mean, maybe you could like argue like a phase drums into BKB, something along those lines.
Usually people stop for drums. Sometimes you see an Atos build up. Depends a little bit. I do think that straight into the BKB is probably the correct choice here.
Yeah.
And then Elder Titan over on the other side. Talking about like Razor is an anti-carry, but here we have another one. And I think this is some anticipation for a possible pickup, okay. Some anticipation for whatever carry is going to have to go up versus Lifestealer. Like usually you'd like to run an anti-carry into that. There is definitely a threat of a PL on the board here as well. Oh wait, no, sorry, that got banned all the way at the start. Sometimes I forget that. Scratch that. Anyway, whatever carry you're going to run up against here is most likely going to be Agi. You're most likely going to be relying on high armor, high damage here. And Elder Titan is just sort of a catch-all for like, alright, you don't get to do that. And then, yeah, very smart, ban out the Ursa here as well, which is one of the big man fighters that can really smash that Lifestealer.
I'm really curious, like, what the mid lane options are going to be here for the side of LBZS, because like it is definitely going to be the puck mid. They ban out the Doom, like another anti-carry type of hero here that actually pairs fairly well with their lineup, and then they will remove the Alchemist. Interesting. Okay.
That would be interesting, yeah. I guess as far as Gary pickups here, as my stream runs into some trouble. Carries for Aster, I'm not too sure about. Midlane pickups though, there's all of the spirits are still ready to go. Foot spirits here. I don't think you want to play Ember into puck.
Yeah, that one feels pretty rough. I mean, you would have loved to pick up like a Terrorblade into the lineup of LBZS until the Elder Titan got picked up, and then you're just like, all right, well, never mind. And so now it doesn't leave you with a lot of options. You could go for a Sven, a hero that actually does really well against the Elder Titan because it provides, you know, armor and movement speed as opposed to, you know, just having lots of base armor. They ban out the Medusa.
No reliance on that much of your own base armor either, since you are a strength carrier, and you're definitely going to outfarm this Lifestealer, no doubt about it. I like that suggestion.
The only other heroes I could think of would be like Slark or just something that beats them. I mean, is PA still pickable here?
You have a hard time in the man fight, but at the very least you can jump in and out the arena. PA is okay. She suffers from being slow once again. I'd much rather see the Sven, who is definitely ready to fight the 2 items, like whichever you get. Just Echo Saber into BKB something. Your farm speed does not slow down. Well, did not see that one coming.
Safe lane Razor is what it is. So they're gonna run the off lane Slardar.
Well, does well in the lane against the Lifestealer as well, but I'm not sure if it's going to be as dominant as the Razor, and you're definitely on a timer right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's the thing that scares me, is the fact that like Ares doesn't have this like really strong late game hero here that can fight against this lifestealer, right? If this goes late, he will just have a free game past like 35 minutes.
Exactly. Like, and if you want to do anything against that, honestly, you should put the Slardar on the carry position instead of the Razor.
现在请选
And there is
择
the
英
Void
雄
Spirit. Yeah, that's what I thought. With a couple of great vessels for your lifestealer here. You got that burst magical damage to provide some extra pick-off threat into Aster.Aries. You're going to get guaranteed lockdown on the puck with the Yule Scepter that you're going to build, because you're not an idiot, because if you rush the Axe versus a puck, you're just going to die.
Yeah, you just lose.
Over and over again. It's surprising how long it took before people really started prioritizing the Yules versus puck.
Yeah, absolutely.
It still hurts me, you know?
Well, it's so good used offensively and defensively, right? That's one of the things that makes Puck so good, is how elusive the hero is, and Yules pretty much guarantees sets up a kill on that hero. And if you need to be able to get out of Waning Rift or even Coil, if you can play the edge of the Coil correctly into the Yule Scepter, you can snap the Coil in the middle of the Yules, but very, very difficult to actually do correctly. But yeah, I think I like I really do like the lifestealer draft personally. I'm very worried that Aster.Aries does not have this late game potential that LBZS do, and all of these games have been kind of pushing towards that after like a farming stage. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and the other thing that worries me a little bit for Aster.Aries here is that my assumption after the first two games, and I don't know them, of course, like I'm only seeing them really played for the first time here, is that the way that they took the first game was really by sitting back and allowing the opportunities to come to them. And that's not something you're going to have when you don't have the late game in the back. You're going to have to make moves. And we saw that Aries was kind of awkward with that when they were forced to. They have some great engagement tools this time around, but I'm not sure if that's going to do enough for them when really all of the plays are going to come down to you.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. That makes a lot of sense. I'm excited to see a new game here, something very different from what we saw in the first two, luckily. Some new heroes that we're seeing. The Phoenix, obviously always a blast to watch. If they're able to keep the lifestealer off of that egg, you know, maybe they do have a pretty good shot at winning some of these fights. You do have to worry about the arena, of course, which was super impactful in game number 2. But yeah, we'll see what they can do. The safe lane Razor, this off lane Slardar, and whether or not it's enough to carry them through this.
It's looking spicy.
Well, Ulu thinks it's over.
Yeah. Oof. Nope, you saw that ward get placed.
But now we're going to see the standoff. No Tusk in this match right now either, so hard for either team to decisively say we have the level 1 advantage. But yeah, no way LBZS are going to march up to that high ground.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a ward up there, but yeah, getting that immediate D ward makes fighting for this rune a lot more difficult because they don't have vision across this now. Whereas Ares Aster does. Or Aster.Aries.
Yuna hiding in the trees. That's after 2 games with Katyu having some trouble surviving his Rollins, I'm very curious to see a different player on the hero. Let's see what Yuna can pull off. Was very satisfied with his Lion predictions and pickoffs, especially in the first game.
Yeah, his Lion played really well.
Now the roles are reversed.
Exactly. It's just going to be 2-2 on the bounty runes. Both teams taking those. And we're going to go right into the lane phase. Nothing out of the ordinary here. All pretty much the expected lanes. We are going to be seeing that safe lane Razor plus Earth Spirit going up against that Mars and Elder Titan. You know? Mars and Lion, sorry.
Yeah, that's Mars and Lion.
Yeah, Mars Lion up in the top lane.
A very different mid lane matchup here now. This one's usually pretty 50-50. I have seen either of these run away with it, and of course there's big kill threat over on level 6. So that's definitely where we're going to be looking at the mid lane, seeing if any of the supports rotate in to make use of that level 6 on their mid laner to try and kill off the other.
Nice try there on the Void Spirit. Trying to get Puck to waste that orb or get the deny on the creep by pulling that wave. Bottom lane, though, great body blocks from the Slardar. Do they have the damage to finish it off? They do. He grabs first blood there, taking down Zhaofu on the Elder Titan. Considered one of the strongest lane heroes, really, but against a Phoenix, if you don't have the attack speed, it's not that easy.
Yeah, and this is, like, in that regard, the Slardar pick is great from Aster.Aries because you are running it into a double melee lane. Even though this Elder Titan would really like to be trading with you, it's going to be rough for him. And he can only really do it when he has the spirit damage. As soon as that runs out, you turn it around on him.
2-minute water runes are coming. It's going to be the Void Spirit grabbing the top one. I'm assuming Puck, Contentious pushing out the wave, and farming here will eventually head for the bottom one. It's actually not easy to go for this because he can just remnants you or not. Okay, never mind.
A little bit rough on the remnant range, I think. But yeah, that looked pretty scary, actually. You could have missed out on that rune there, and then with your career already being there, you'd have run out of regen.
Yeah.
Over on Phoenix.
Oh, nice denies there. Mid lane's super even. I mean, we watched this exact lane matchup probably 100 times last season. Top lane, nice impale into Spear. He does get the static link off on over to catch you, and now Ulu's just gonna be able to chase him down. Plasma Field comes out, he turns around, he gets the kill. Well played, and a great setup there from Yuna on the Earth Spirit, able to give him some space.
Not quite enough damage over on the Mars there to actually punish the Razor either, of course, because the damage isn't being stolen from him. There was a definite turnaround potential, but not enough. Don't think he had any mana for another spear.
Nice D-ward there from the Phoenix. Still blocking that camp. That's the main thing, right? If you're against the Elder Titan, the last thing you want to do is give him camps to stack.
Exactly. Too much increase in damage. Neither team here is really going to be looking to do anything before the laning stage is over. We could see a Yuna rotation, definitely, maybe to secure this rune here. He looks to be on the move.
Nice rolling boulder into that river, and Katyu, he might go down here. The jaunt actually takes him to the wrong side of the tree line.
Spent too much time as a frog.
Yeah.
Zhaofu, you can see, are just getting pushed out of the lane by this very strong laning combination over from Aster.Aries. At the very least, MS isn't really getting bothered just yet, but it's definitely coming at the price of his support here.
Yeah, absolutely. MS, if he's able to get a lot of solo experience here, though, it does actually kind of end up favoring him. You do have to be worried, though. Anytime a Slardar has this good of farm, he basically transitions into a fourth, or like a really strong, like almost 2 position. Irving top lane. A nice attempt here from Aster.Aries, but he is just a little bit too tanky. But I was going to say about the Slardars, he does so much damage and becomes so difficult to kill if he gets a lot of net worth.
He does, yes. He's one of those snowballing heroes that can really go off after a good laning stage. Very hard to stop him as well because, as you said, he gets super tanky. A lot of innate HP and armor.
Overall lanes fairly even once again. Maybe a slight advantage over to Aries here, but CS, I mean, it's pretty much even this time. Not like in the last couple of games, there's been, you know, one hero that was, you know, definitely struggling compared to everyone else. This time, it's all about the same. Razor's the only one not, you know, really having the best time, but even then, it's still pretty good. And this first power rune coming up, Void Spirit at the top rune. Multiple supports rotating in for these. Cat U will drop a Hex bottom onto Puck. Top lane, he grabs an Invis rune and immediately TP's bottom. MS almost goes down to the Slardar. And one more Astral Step, the Remnant as well. Nice Earth Spike. Can they finish off the kill? He's out. He forces 3 heroes bottom and doesn't die. A fantastic play here from the Slardar.
What a fish, honestly. I thought he was in too deep there as well, for sure. But that's the full burst damage of a Void Spirit, and it's just too much HP. Too much bloody HP. So Void Spirit has to return to this mid lane now. At least he has the Invis rune to apply a little bit of threat here, but can't really do anything versus the Puck now, who has free reign really to do anything he wants. Oh, Xiaofu. Roll misses, I think. Oh, does he live?
Stomp?
It's taking so long to bring him down.
Yeah, they just commit the coil. Okay. I wasn't sure if they were going to get this kill, but, you know, they just commit the coil. Why not? They haven't used it anytime soon, but as a result, maybe they feel like they can chase after the Puck. Orb's on cooldown. He jumps in on the backside. Astral Step does connect. He takes down the Phoenix. Yuna hiding in the pit here. They're actually not opting to drop the arena. Instead, just a really nice spear onto that tree. Obviously, you can't spear anyone into the side of the Roche pit. So Yuna, well, he ends up dropping the arena at the end of the day, and they will go ahead and pick up 2.
And a lot of that is just to how long that Elder Titan survives. Like, once you drop the coil on that Puck, all of your chances at actually re-engaging into any other heroes are just gone. You better just drop it right at the start or not drop it at all.
Looking at the state of the lanes here, though, once again, Aries, we're at this situation. Oh, MS bottom? He's got to be fine, right? Yeah, he'll be fine. The lane has been, like, pretty much in favor of the Slardar for quite a while now. They actually infest into Cat U. I mean, you have 3 heroes down here, but so does Aster.Aries. I don't think this is going to work out.
This Nyx has his armlet, but I'm not sure if that's going to actually provide them with enough damage to bring down the Slardar before the return engagement comes.
Yeah.
Does Earth Spirit moves too far away? No, he's closer now.
They're rotating in one more. The Void Spirit has shown up. Question is, who are they going to find? Nice Earth Spike on the backside, right onto the Slardar. All of the Magic Burst comes in this time. Nice Slither and Crush. Can he escape this time? Oh, he actually stays alive because of the raindrops. What a sick play. And now the rotation from Ulu bottom. They punish this fight as they take down that Lifestealer. And Arena will pin them against the wall, but it's just the support.
The choice to deliberately go for the Slardar there, really blowing up an LBZS's faces. They knew they had some damage issues going on in the previous time, and now with the raindrops as well as the sunray from the Phoenix, they just can't shoot through him fast enough. They blow everything once again, and their Lifestealer dies. These are exactly the kind of plays that Aster.Aries are waiting for. Like, give them a finger and they'll take your hand.
It's a really good way to put it. It's a really good way to put it. Yeah, I mean, it looked like Slardar was dead, 100%, right? He gets the Astral Step on in to try and finish him off, but boom, that damage absorbed by the raindrop, the sunray there, keeping him alive the whole time. And yeah, at that point, Razor, a fantastic counter on over against the Lifestealer. We knew about that going into the draft. And it cost them dearly. MS now rotates top. He's just sitting on armlet, no boots. And now all 3 top net worth are going to be on the side of the Dire.
Bringing in Irving here as well, because right now single Phoenix can definitely hold that top tower for a while longer. Doesn't really have anything to fear from just his Lifestealer. And this is all time that Aster.Aries just gets to farm slightly more of the map than LBZS does. You can see how clumped these 2 cores are in the top lane now. They really want to punch through that top tower.
Mid lane. Ooh, that's a severe win advantage already for the side of Aster.Aries. They're going to jump on and find Yuna here. A great pick off. They also get the Phoenix, it seems, in the top lane. with the life
Imagine
stealer.
they dropped the arena for that.
Yeah, right. Oh well, no, it's not on cooldown. Bottom lane though, Ulu just chases down this Earth Spirit, or I'm sorry, the Elder Titan. Not much you can do about that one.
Casual.
上塔正受到攻击。
Easier pressure into the top tower for LBZS than expected. And also, like, that go from Yuna, I think he misclicked and managed to not place one of the stones. 'Cause the
Oh,
fast roll
nice
would've done
kickback.
this.
That was so sick by Yuna here, setting up a big kill onto the Mars. I mean, obviously you'd love to get the life stealer, but Rage obviously making that pretty much impossible. So they at least get something for their troubles this time. Yeah, we'll see this dive in the top lane. This was the kill that we missed. It looks, yeah, they
He just dives at a really weird angle.
yeah, no real way out of that.
Who's got a Falcon Blade? He's got some extra damage, got some extra mana, everything good, and I presume he's gonna move into the BKB next.
Yeah,
While we watch
Quell
this
in the
Void
mid lane.
Spirit.
Can they kick him out of here? Apparently, he's gonna be fine, potentially. He's still got some spells to work with. He astral steps on through. The egg, however, will be enough to finish him off, but Egg's in the middle of two heroes. They take it down, no problem at all, and then a pause comes in. Kale, apparently. A little bit of lag from both teams.
A little bit troublesome. They really engaged very hard there on a Void Spirit who was probably going to take out to the ultimate of the Earth Spirit anyway. I'm not sure if it was necessary for him to step on into the arena to apply even more damage.
Yeah, that was interesting. I definitely thought this Void Spirit was just gonna get like kicked out immediately by Yuna. Didn't end up happening, and now Ulu, nice jump. They actually will go ahead and grab a stun onto MS there, but a trade for the Finger of Death, so a 1-for-1 additionally. Ulu is still probably one of the scariest people on the map right now, so you have to respect the Razor.
And the lag is not quite over. I wonder if that means more lag.
Maybe. Or it's a question.
You lag too?
Yeah, that's what I was like, are you lagging? I don't know. So it is a Midas on the Slardar. Interesting. So this is a really greedy off-lane Slardar build. I saw this actually become very popular when Slardar was a little bit overpowered as a 3 position for a while. And now not as common, definitely, but the Midas, we'll see how that pays off. It's one of those things where it may completely backfire. He's not going to have like a super quick blink dagger by any means, but maybe he doesn't want it. You know, maybe he's trying to go for a different type. Oh my gosh, they are still lagging. They're still having problems.
Yeah. Yeah, chat just told me that it definitely means more lag.
More lag. Okay, nice. Lagging again of some kind. Okay.
Yeah, that might. I mean, here's the thing: if you're going for this sort of more passive pressure style, where you're standing there and daring them to engage into you, like they've done before, like, all right, come at me with the Life Stealer, with the Void Spirit, then the Midas is a lot better because you don't need to get the engagement. Your enemy will do that for you, and you still got the bonus of the attack speed, which of course the Slardar really likes compared to a lot of other heroes. So pretty decent. I'm guessing they're all in the same location then, if they're all having lag.
That's my guess too, yeah.
Might be restarting the router right now.
Yeah, something along those
there.
lines. Yeah, anytime you see like 5 heroes from a team disconnect, there's probably a networking problem there, right?
Hope this helps him out a little bit. Like, depending on how amazing your team house is, you might have 2 connections. You could also be switching to your backup connection here. Several options, but you know, usually the old try turning it on and off again does wonders. Well, let's hope that this sorts Aster.Aries out for the time being.
All right, we're back in. We'll see how this goes. And to continue this push here in the top lane, tier 1 tower still stands. They actually haven't managed to claim any towers from Aster.Aries here, and bottom lane has already fallen. Ulu. I love this item build, just this Falcon Blade into the BKB. We said he wanted to get an early BKB and maybe like one item before then. The Falcon Blade, fantastic. I love this pickup.
And you can see here that the Slardar is ready to play up and just be tanky, and at this point if he dies with the Midas, as long as it's not off not off cooldown, he's going to be fine with that as well. They attracted a lot of attention here.
This did smoke up here, but yeah, they're not gonna find anything. He's going for, I think it was a Blink Dagger queued up. He did have like some components towards the, like he had like the Windlace and stuff towards the Yules, but it looks like he wants to go back for the Blink Dagger. He had a lot of success with the Blink Dagger last game.
He did. His targets are a little bit more elusive this time around, and the silence from the puck could definitely be a bit of an issue for him in terms of like being able to counter engage before any of his allies are dead. But I could very well see him just choosing to take the initiative instead and grab the Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
Both are valid choices here.
And Slardar going for the Blink Dagger as well. After the BKB, but he's already got that Ogre Club, so he's getting somewhat close. The Midas definitely helping out with that as he's pulling just a little bit further and further away from that Mars. Overall, both teams kind of content just trying to farm it up right now. Not a lot of pressure being applied. They are slowly moving into the bottom lane here, but they do have a ward scouting out this rotation, so Aster.Aries doesn't look like they're going to be able to find anything.
Like in this phase of the game, it definitely favors Aster.Aries.
Oh, a coil, the kick. Beautiful snap. He gets the Yules off though, and is there any follow-up damage is the question. The Magnetize ticking back and around. They drop the egg right up on the high ground. Beautifully placed, and a Spirit Arena will be able to finish off that Earth Spirit, but you get the kill on the Void Spirit. That's pretty much what you wanted.
Yeah, that's exactly the hero that I want to talk about. This is the peak of Void Spirit's damage output right now. He doesn't really feel like he can make plays right now, and now he's getting picked off in his own jungle as well. That feels really very bad. You're supposed to be this scary threat that the enemy has to wait out for and play careful for, and instead you were off map and they come looking for you. That's not a good sign.
We'll see. MS going for the Sanjin Yasha after the armlet. So I was curious if he was going to go for the Desolator or something along those lines, but opting to pick up a little bit of status resistance and move speed, attack speed. I do like it in this game, definitely. Especially against heroes, you know, like Slardar and Puck, you know, having a little bit more status resistance and movement speed is quite nice. I feel like you're never outrunning the Razor, though.
No, you're not. I think the biggest point here is that at some point you're going to have to man fight this Slardar. He's going to be up in your business. And you gotta not fall over and die.
Yeah. Speaking of falling over and dying, Earth Spirit just picked off in the top lane there. A nice rotation and a good pick off. They can't really pressure the tier 2 tower safely, so they will just back off and accept just that they get this one nice kill there. I'm still getting used to that ramp there. It's so weird to me.
It's a very nice angle to control this creep wave with, though.
Yeah. I've definitely died a couple times to trees so far in this patch where I'm just like, yeah, there's definitely a path here, right? And I was like, nope. And I just auto-pathed the wrong way. All right, they smoke up here. Aster looking to see what they run into, and it's gonna be Zhaofu on this Elder Titan. He pops that sprint, gonna chase after him. Nice rolling boulder to chase as well. They snap the coil, and a quick pick off for them goes the way of the Slardar. They'll accept that as they save the tower and push them off, force them back to their own side of the map.
And I think in a lot of these fights, the Razor could have actually been farming elsewhere. It doesn't look like LBZS really wants to take this fight. Their burst damage potential is also not really that high. So Aster.Aries could have been grabbing a little bit more farm advantage here.
天辉中塔正受到攻击。一眼军团正在
See your top lane. They're definitely trying to sniff out this lion. They might run into Irving. Meanwhile, mid lane. Ooh, have nothing going down here.
It's very hard to siege towers versus Elder Titan. He's so good at blowing up the wave. You're really going to have to just tank it,
塔已被
get it over with.
Yeah, they do finally bring it down. Opening up that mid tower gives them a lot more pressure into both the triangle as well as the Radiant jungle. So makes it very difficult to protect those areas of the map.
Yep. And both of these teams are most likely going to want to take Roshan pretty early on. And right now, it's much harder for LBZS to reach him than it is for Aster.Aries, and that also makes him harder to contest.
They caught MS bottom. He doesn't have any way out of the silence. The chainstone's there as well. They get the first kill, and the coil snap gonna find Zalfu as well. That amplified damage is just doing work in this game.
受到攻击。
Sorry, corrosive haze. I know they changed it.
Yeah, I mean, it still amplifies the damage though, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
just descriptive. And a bonus kill?
Bonus kill. Those are the best kind of kills.
Mm-hmm.
Now this
Yeah,
means
that little
Roshan,
bonus
right?
kill
You got
retreat.
Slardar.
Yep.
Pretty easy. And they'll just go ahead and take this Roche. They'll give this Aegis, if I'm correct, probably over to Ulu on the Razors. He's just going to be popping, static link and running in, being this maniac, and having an Aegis to give him a second life would be quite nice.
击杀。
It will be, yes. And you could see there that the Elder Titan respawned in time to contest if the mid tower was still alive. But since it wasn't, he just doesn't get there. Well, Yuna, opportunistic.
Yeah.
Trying to bait out something more, but nobody on LBZS is biting. They really don't want to engage here anymore. And once again, it feels like LBZS had some opportunities to get the tempo going, played a bit more towards the top lane, but they were sitting back. They lost a couple of kills here and there, and Aster.Aries really have been finding all of their pickoffs once more. Now with an Aegis in their hands as well. This game is getting hard.
It is.
You can definitely still lean back and think that the Lifestealer is going to carry a bunch more later, but the Midas on that Slardar definitely makes it a lot harder. It's the scenario that I was talking about, right? If you want to contest that Lifestealer later, you need to have scaling on your Slardar. That's exactly what Aster.Aries got. They didn't get punished for it at all.
Yeah, that was the thing that worried about me early on. Is like, okay, he has a Midas. You can, punish this if you can take these good fights, but they just were unable to. They were not strong enough on the Void Spirit or the Lifestealer to take these fights, and as a result, you have a Slardar who's second in net worth. And like you were saying, this hero scales incredibly well. Like, everything about this hero's kit is so strong. Itemization, you have so many different builds you can go for, and he just has the blink coming out very soon. And it's going to be a huge issue for the side of LBZS here.
受到攻击。
I think one of the things that secretly sort of buffed the scaling / carry Slardar is the addition of the
烈焰
different
上
blink
塔
daggers.
正受到
Yeah,
Either overwhelming or swift blink is just amazing on that guy.
they really are. They're so good.
Like, we haven't really seen any of it, and now this guy who started on the offlane.
正受到攻击。
Well, another quick pick off there for Ulu. Catch you. Just trying to do what he can. Sniffed out by a good ward there. And they have so much catch here as well, right? That's the one thing that's super difficult for them to deal with. This Blink Dagger on Slardar is online now. They don't want to reveal this without finding, a good pick. But I think pretty much whoever you find at this point, you're going to just turn it into an objective. Ulu
受到攻击。
sitting here, going to pop that Mask of Madness, click on this tower. Top lane. Oh, there it is. The reveal right onto that... Ooh, there you go. Oh, they have detection. There's a sentry down, and as a result, it is going to hold the Void Spirit down, and he can't snap the coil. Very good attempt there. The rest of the team rotating on in. You lose one, you're surrounded. 5 for 0. Oh boy, they're gonna take 2 huge kills.
I'd tip here.
Yeah, that's a tip for sure.
One sentry.
Dota Plus starting
Oh,
to feel
very
the way
good.
we are. 71% now favoring Aster.Aries here, and it's just gonna keep getting worse. They've got this Sange completed. He's going for a Satanic next. Like, this Razor is going to be unkillable.
信使已被击杀。
He is like that early window where Razor is still kind of fragile is just closing. He's going to be extremely tanky. He's going to have a lot of risk. Look at this.
Razor's
They're going
got
to
the
get an
Aegis. Oh, yeah, they do manage to
Maybe.
find it. Yeah, they do manage to get the Aegis there. A nice sleep into an Earth Splitter. They just force the BKB out immediately. Egg gonna go off, stuns down MS, but he's gonna get caught. A nice setup there from the Remnant. Sick play there from Void Spirit.
At least to get the Aegis out here, it means that Aster.Aries can't play as brazenly, or I should say position as brazenly aggressive as they have before. But it also illustrates how many resources they actually need to dedicate to a Razor who's basically just standing there on his own.
Yeah. He is opting to go for the Assault Kuros here on this Lifestealer. Nice roll into the mid lane. Silence comes in. He doesn't have any way to remove the silence, and he just dies immediately. That's what we're talking about. There's no BKB. There's no Manta. Like, he has no way to survive these long-range initiations from Yuna, and they end up just turning around for 2. Your tier 1 tower is going to cost you 3 heroes as Elder Titan just getting slapped by a Slardar.
眼军团全面加固。
He got bashed into the ground. Yeah, this counter initiation is so powerful. It's become extremely hard for LBZS to make any goes whatsoever. After, honestly, they spent their first 2 goes on a Slardar who is going to be a hard target anyway. You can see scenarios in which one goes differently, but they bit off a little bit more than they could chew. They stopped their momentum, and now Aster.Aries are
正受到攻击。
like they're in charge of this game.
Yeah, they are. They are
It's
in a
actually
very good
becoming very
position.
hard for them to mess this up. I'm with Dota Plus on this one.
Yeah, I think you are correct. Nice blink stun there. In comes the Void Spirit. Silence up on the backside, preventing that Sunray, but you just get blink crushed, and now your Void Spirit, all he's got is a Resonant Pulse. He's got to run away. A huge arena comes in, ends up spearing them out, but the BKB's protecting the Slardar for the moment. Drops that Slither and Crush, needs to get on out of here. Zhaofu trying to close the gap, but he gets the blink. Phoenix drops that Waning Rift. He's got to be careful. He drops a coil. It does catch the Void Spirit on the backside, and then here comes the Razor. He's still got the Eye of the Storm. It was here the whole time. He pops the BKB, takes down both of them. No problem at all. And now Irving infested, running for his life, and again, Earth Spirit just getting bullied by Slardar.
天辉上塔。
Yeah, every time there is time for that Slardar to take out an Elder Titan, he's just food. There's
Yeah.
nothing he can do. At least really fancy footwork on the Infest blink out there. That was within milliseconds of each other.
天辉
But
上塔。
you know, that's still a fancy runaway.
Yeah, it was very close. Elder Titan just, every time, you know, he's still left in the team fight, you just see this Slardar like, hey, buddy, I got a message for you. It just keeps chasing him down. Chain silences into the mid lane. The blink, the crush, it's there. They have the bashes available. Spear gonna bait a little bit of time down to 300 HP. MS, he's going real fast. Into comes the Phoenix, a huge egg. They get the kill. He can't armlet toggle through the fire damage.
That's just adding insult to injury. Very nice to spin the egg for that, though.
Yeah, it was so sick.
And just immediately march up to this tier 2 here if they feel like it. The Void Spirit has his steps. Maybe Yuna plays it a little bit more careful.
And now, Satanic completed, going back for the SNY. Gonna finish up that Yasha, give himself a little bit more attack speed and movement speed. A little bit of armor. All stuff Razor really loves in this game. I mean, in general, this Razor is a monster. 16,000 net worth, sitting so high above every single other hero in this game. And then he's followed by the 2 remaining cores on his own team, the Slardar and the Puck. I mean, it's just getting so rough here for LBZS.
And that basic Dispel is going to be really nice versus the silence from the Void Spirit as well. Ooh, just feeling like a champ in this game. I can't touch him.
He manages to get a Orb of Destruction as well. Nice Blink Crush. BKB comes out. MS starting to run for his life. Can Phoenix close the gap and get the coil? He will only find Earth's the Elder Titan once again.
Slardar is over.
Yeah, they turned around. That BKB expired. All right. Nice arena play there coming in from the Mars. That was actually a huge turn.
Bit of an overextension for Slardar as well. Team was not quite ready for the re-engage. You do need to have that Razor up front to start linking damage as soon as possible, and they really only got the poor Elder Titan there. So yeah, excellent moment to smoke up here. Maybe finally find an infest pickup when at least one of the arrows that made it so hard to engage into Aster.Aries is down. But they're very grouped.
Yeah, they actually scanned just to hopefully not waste their time, and they're correct. They were not in their triangle, so they're going to be heading straight to top. MS, his smoke's going to get popped. They have a ward here scouting this whole thing. Glimmer Cape going to give Yuna some space that he needs. Can they actually do anything, though? Olna, he just runs in. He's going to be able to just start beating down one of these heroes. The static link onto the Lifestealer, and this hero's going to stop doing much damage at all. They will go ahead and just, well, they take down two. I take it back. They managed to grab that kill on the puck. The ultimate from that egg, not gonna really do much of anything, and now Olna very low. Spirit ends up might saving him here as he gets pushed away from that stomp, but Olna still doing what he can. Phoenix gonna end up going down. A nice 3-man coil, but you get the Razor finally.
Used him up and pushed him back through most of the duration of his Satanic there as well, so not really any lifesteal for him after the BKB. And now has a buyback on the puck. This is a very expensive way to horse around Aster.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get Roche as well. Dota Plus still not thinking there's much hope here for LBZS, but honestly, that was the best possible fight they could have gotten.
Let's face it, if this was the kind of fight that they need to take in order to actually have a chance in this game, I don't think Aster.Aries is going to give them another one.
Yeah, getting the fight and by initiating on the puck and killing him was huge. They will take a look here. Like, you know, Yuma's able to get out, but Phoenix, not really sure what happens here. He like goes in and just gets immediately destroyed. Oh, it's just the spear from Mars. Great patience from him, and then just the burst damage from the other heroes. And Egg plays really defensively, yeah. And as a result, they get a huge fight.
They can definitely fight with two of them here. Was it a Eos? No, just a spear. He just popped the Satanic, he immediately gets speared back, loses most of the duration, and then is only still at half health by the time that the puck comes in, which was really not the intention.
Yeah.
He had so much damage stolen. If he has full health there, he might still be a threat. But instead, it's just a dieback for the puck right there.
Yeah, fantastic turn of events for them. Now only a 3,000 gold lead. I mean, it was over 10K here just a little bit ago. And there's your win percentage. It is almost even. It is a coin. It is now in favor of LBZS. They smoke up here on the side of Aster.Aries. I mean, you got an Aegis on the Lifestealer. What can you do, really? You know, they will find the Slardar. Yeah. Pops his smoke there. Yuna trying to do what he can. He's going to pop the smoke of the others. Inkol's Ulu just pops the BKB. Lion goes down immediately. A great 2-man coil on the backside and a great egg as well, holding them all in place. And Infest, he is going to be able to dodge that with the Eels for the time being, but now MS, you're just kind of stuck here. If Slardar can stay on top of you, you're just going to absolutely take him down. He pops those Spider Legs, trying to close the gap, protected by the Lotus Orb for the time being, but he gets the bash. A huge arena on top of 4, but you're the only survivor. They're not going to be able to time the roll, but they get the crush. MS trying to run for his life, but the bashes are there. And now LBZS just relegated to the fountain. There's nothing that you could do. The T3, it's exposed. MS, the only hero alive with no buybacks.
And that's what I was talking about with, alright, I don't think they get a second fight like that. They really, really don't. Aster.Aries just has to do what comes naturally to them. Very great dodge on the initial go there. If you go on the Lifestealer, that fight is a lot harder. The Mars gets a good arena, etc. But blowing up the Lion instead is a great start to the fight.
Oh, they caught the Lifestealer.
Oh, no. I didn't think he would be there.
Yeah, he should immediately call his GG.
Just let me talk, man. Just let me talk. But like, let's face it. If you wait more here, there is nothing to wait for. This Slaughter's got your number. This Razor has been owning your entire team all game.
Yeah, it is just an incredible lifestealer, or an incredible counter to the lifestealer, right? Like there's two heroes just dedicated to shutting down this guy, and they just did such a good job. We'll be going into some highlights here in just a second.
Yep, and we can see that double melee lane again, whereas really that Slardar pick just makes so much sense for the lane, where he's going to dominate no matter what, and then both of the failed pickoffs from the Void Spirit, which really just dent any kind of confidence that LBZS has in their ability to make plays. Like they tried to slow down a very dangerous hero for them and were unable to, and they paid a price throughout the rest of the game.
All right, let's see what goes on here. What it is, what plays from the game they want to show us.
On the Slardar.
Oh yeah, you're right. I can't believe it.
Raindrop.
It was so close. And then the kill onto MS here is just like the icing on the cake here for Aster.Aries. Like they get everything they want. They get the arena. It doesn't really net them much at all. And then again, it's just these pickoffs over and over and over again.
And they weren't even that early. Like a reminder that this is Slaughter who went to Midas first.
Yeah.
They took their time about this. Here, this one sentry.
Yeah.
I still say they should just tip here.
Yeah, this is a value sentry for sure.
Do you really think that you're out here? You played all of your cards right, and there was one oversight.
Mid lane, yeah, this is another one. They try to make a play onto the tower. He just gets immediately silenced. The initiation there from the Earth Spirit coil. I didn't even realize missed, but it doesn't really matter. It was just going to be another kill, another way of killing the Mars, and good old Elder Titan. It feels so bad.
Bonus kill.
Yeah, it just every time someone goes in deep here, it's just Slardar being super patient with the Blink Crush. It seems he's either reinitiating with Blink Crush or he's the one setting up the first kills. Right? It feels like that's just the whole game. Is they just go wherever Slardar goes.
It comes down to the layers of engagement that you have in this team. And here again, like, have you seen this Lion? No, you haven't, because there's multiple sources of engagement and he can't do anything.
Yeah, Cat-U just getting ran down here. You were correct. That Infest Blink play was so nice.
Yeah, really fast. Mister, they can take this fight. I think they're correct that they don't actually have to back off, even though they're an important member down. Ulu gets so much damage here. They can't fight under the egg. And then, even here, so right, sure, if we buy back on the puck, our Razor has tremendous amounts of damage. He still has his Satanic. It's just that his Satanic immediately gets interrupted by this spear.
Yeah.
And the puck is kind of...
And this arena was sick too.
Yeah, very well played by Mars. But really, they had to wait until Aster.Aries deliberately took a 4v5 fight.
And this one, like you said, the patience to just go on Lion. This was really smart. And MS tries to infest the Void Spirit here to make him a little bit tankier, but there's just too much damage. There's just nothing you can do about this, and then there's the long chase back to the base. He's got no damage to work with. 137 total stolen here on the Razor. The arena obviously buying him a little bit of space, but it's just over and over and over again. The ability of this Slardar to stay on top of these targets, and then the Earth Spirit chasing as well. You know, they don't get the... Yeah, I'm 100% on this. Yeah. I love the Slardar being the MVP here. This is absolutely perfect.
Just the confidence for these plays, especially after game 2, where it felt like the ability of Aster.Aries to pick the right moments to go was kind of dented. Like, they didn't look convincing at all in that game. This was a big turnaround. They really had all of their initiation tools, and they used them very, very sharply. I really enjoyed watching them here. Yeah. And if this is what they do to the team that came falling down from the upper division, then imagine what they're going to do to the rest of their bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. Super excited. Honestly, finishing up day 1 here for me, not day one of the DPC. This is my first time here on the CN DPC here, season 2. Obviously, we had a fantastic time here in season 1, but there's so much more great Dota to come. This is just the lower division series today. There is still an upper division game happening between RNG and EHOME, and that's going to be coming up in just a little bit. Honestly, loved the performance this game from both teams tonight. Aster.Aries, just the better team. I think the draft in game 3 was just really well done. The Slardar, like you pointed out, just a fantastic counter to that Lifestealer pick. And they came out owning it. Took the 2-1 against what I think was the favorited team.
Absolutely. Pretty big upset here, and very enjoyable one to watch too. So looking forward to seeing more from Aster.Aries.
Yeah, definitely. That, I believe, is going to conclude our coverage of this series, but definitely stay tuned. As like we said, we do have the upper division series coming up a little bit later tonight. Kips, any final words for everyone who tuned in tonight?
Tune in more, because we're going to have more games like this. China Dota is, in my opinion, the highest quality on the planet right now, and we've got upsets ready right from the start.
So true. Yeah, we really do. These games are going to be a lot of fun. We've got a doubleheader for lower division coming up in just 2 days, which will be a blast. But that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And again, stay tuned for your upper division series of RNG versus EHOME. We'll see y'all then.
是的，第一把毕竟我们赢了呀，我们还挺高兴的，他们不换，结果被对面干了，很难受。因为对线大圣对线可以压马尔斯了，当时他这样选马尔斯想压他，然后大圣打猴子也还可以，那把我自己没打好。是的。现在感觉版本比较紧凑吧，1号位需要更多的做团队事情，像去逼对面的防御塔之类的，不能打太多的野感觉。是的，是的。感觉当前版本比较强势，幻影长矛手你是最强的吧？剩下的感觉，我自己比较喜欢玩肉核吧，像 CK 小小之类的，然后大部分英雄都玩的还可以，都会玩吧，没有肉核和幻影长矛手吧，比较强。不适合呀，那打起来看阵容的，就要看临场的阵容。是我们教练在 BP。是的，是的。教练的意见占主要吧，然后我们选手有一些小的细枝末节的建议。没有什么大的目标吧，不被踢出去就算成功。我给自己的目标就是不被踢出去就算成功，不是后啊。谢谢。